Oh, there we go.
All right.
That's so cool.
I know, I know, right? I thought Mario created this because it sounds like his fucking voice, but his, Mario sounds like a computer anyway. So, but yeah, like you're saying that, I think okay, here's the thing when you said about how women are very good. They're yes, men in general, bro, are generally speaking, men are socially retarded. I'll give credit to women when it comes to social interactions. Women are really good at it to the
They
point
are
where they're so
actually.
deceptive. Yeah, that's just how it goes. That's their strength. Because men are very simple, yet we use physicality. That's our strength. Women's strength is the opposite. It's pretty much how can I finagle and wiggle my way through a situation. That's just how it is. So that's why women are more sensitive. They're very sensitive. Their sense of smell is a lot better. I'm assuming. They have different traits. They're really good at reading people. I'll give them that too. They can read a room, dude. They can guess like what situation these people are in. You know what I'm saying? They're really good at it. Men can get to that level. It just not, young men don't get that shit. I learned, I mean, I'm not that good at it. I don't think I'm that good, but I think I got a lot better the older I became through
Yeah, same,
trial and error, right?
same.
Yeah, yeah. But I think women are more naturally adept to it. So but
We
yes, I
were
agree. Like I understand your frustration, like, but dude, they're getting to the point where they're deceiving themselves way too much that they don't even know what's real anymore. They're so used to telling lies to each other so much that they believe in the lies. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy.
It's obvious when a guy is like an asshole to another guy, or like a guy doesn't like another guy or be his friend or talk to him. It's pretty obvious. I don't think that we really hide that much, even if we want to. It's like we just don't talk to them, right? But women are different because they're so much more deceptive, and you don't know. Like they like women backstab each other all the time, even if they act nice. I've
Over
noticed.
the over the years, sir, I developed it's a language. Men talk a certain way, women talk another way. So yes, over the years, I learned womanese. It's a freaking language, bro. Like all this stuff, I don't want to, throw the alien under the bus, but if you really pay attention to what she was saying the last episode, you really can see what she really means behind the words she's saying.
I don't even know
I don't
that
know.
she even notices what she says. I don't even think she even notices it, to be honest with you.
Yes, bro. I hear this all the stuff she said about the whole like I don't man. I hate to talk about her, but I just because of the episode thing. Naomi's one of many women I talk to. She said the same similar talking points when it comes to relationships and stuff like that. I leave it at that because they always say like, "Oh, I gotta find myself," or "I need time to recover." I'm like, yeah, sure. I translated to something else, but I'm not gonna say it out loud. I don't want to give it away.
Well,
Yeah,
she
I'm like, all right.
been through eight. She's been through eight dudes, and she couldn't
Well,
find one dude
yeah.
that she could have just like kicked around with for a while. You know, she just. I can't even imagine that for myself. I can't like. Oh, what did she mention? She said like, "Oh, I went through one at a time." Really, really, is that what happened?
Look,
I don't
look, man.
know.
Look, man. Look, I don't again. Let me say something. Look, because how we have, all of us have biases and we're prejudiced towards other people. I mean, that's just how we are. We have pattern recognition. So it got to the point when women say specific talking points because I hear it all the time. Eventually, I adapt to their talking points and I become, I could translate what they're saying because I know the fact that most women are deceptive. That's just in their nature. So knowing that, I really pay attention to what they're saying, but I pay closer attention to their behaviors. Trust me, I've talked to several women growing up, in my experience and stuff, the way they speak about certain things. And then when she started speaking about her situation yesterday, I was like, oh, okay. But I'm not gonna explain it. I'm not gonna give it. I'm not gonna, I was like asking
Dude.
questions, bro. I was just asking questions, man, and I let her speak. I'm like, all right, man. So that's why, dude. That's why, like, I mean, I don't want to. But here's the thing, too. Like, that's why these podcasts are really good because we're one, people can listen to authentic English conversations. Eventually, yes, I want to promote this podcast so many people who are practicing English they could listen to conversations like this, which are really fun. By the way, I enjoy talking about it. Well, I like talking to people and friends like you and Mario and everybody, Nayeli, Gustav or Kobe. So yeah, so people can listen in and hear how people speak, but at the same time, there's a lot to learn, man. Like the subtleties, the nuances within everybody's culture. So this one, in this example, it's dynamics between men and women. because I know everybody's interested in this type of topic, anyways.
Yes, that's true. But the other thing too is that men need mentorship. Like young men in their 20s,
Oh, so valuable.
30s,
Right.
they need
Yes.
mentorship. That's what I feel like what you bring into the table when it was like Hello Talk. Especially now, it's like all of a sudden I'm starting to meet guys my age, like Gabe. He's a new guy I met. He's a vet guy. He's like 26, Filipino dude living in the UK, and he's trapped there right now.
Oh
In
God.
debt. Nick is in debt too. He's an ex-vet, type of guy. He's like, was a weekend
The
warrior dude, and he's trying to get out, and he's trouble with like, the
oh,
whole girl thing, and stuff like that, cutting him up and like setting his house on fire a couple times, or at least she tried to,
oh
you
God.
know. Yeah, legal issues too on
Man.
top of that, tied into it, and like, restraining orders and just like, threats to his family, and stuff like that because of this whole chick situation. And I mean, dude, like, and then we got Jay, I mean, like he's trying to recover from like debauchery and like, and stuff like that. And I think he's on a better path now, but he's got like a lust thing I've noticed.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
You got you
these,
can't be you can't, bro. Here's the thing, man. Nowadays, I feel for the younger guys today because when I was younger, you could get away for being stupid as a guy. You learn from your mistakes, right? But now, dude, making a mistake could fuck your life up. You know what I'm
oh,
saying?
it's so
Because
scary. It's so
women
scary.
change so much. Here's my look, dude. There's this is a dangerous topic, but I'll just open it up. Look, man, I really, bro. Feminism, bro, has gotten to the point. By the way, this is the third wave feminism. The thing that's what's happening right now, people don't really understand. The Taylor Swift type of propaganda that's going on down with the patriarchy. This is what most young people believe, that it's a patriarchy, right? Realistically speaking, we're living in a gynocentric world within the patriarchy. So that means the men still run the world, but we think like women today. That's what's happening. Bro, that is what's happening. And
Oh
you know what's
god.
yeah, and you know what's scary? It's like the men, bro, especially not I can't speak for the rest of the world, but America, bro. American men are slowly giving away their liberties to the government. Have you been noticing? Have you been paying
To the
attention to
government, to the government, yeah, and at the same time to the weaker vessel, which is the woman. And I know that's controversial to say that, but they are the weaker vessel, and
my
they're
friend?
they're
My
they're
friend.
becoming cucks. They're cucks to everything.
Yes.
They're bending over to
Yes.
everything, because I
Because
mean, okay, the path to least resistance, has become like the
y-
path for most people, most men in our age group, and it's very embarrassing. It's not all of us, obviously. It's not all of us. We're not all bending ourselves over, but we do have our
no.
vices. Being the fact that we're young and we're susceptible to,
Right.
our
Right.
temptations. Like, and that's why I think it's, so many of us guys were turning into like Christians and Orthodox and we're turning
Right.
into Stoicism and stuff like that because we're trying to find something that can give us freedom through discipline and self-control because we're suffering. Like we're suffering because a lot of us who are like, borderline millennial or Gen Z, like we're suffering from broken homes that we grew up in. And we don't have like a
Right.
dad to like show us the right way. We don't even have like older examples that we can look to that's giving us a way out of our situation, We can't afford to pay for our own homes. We're forever renting and we're growing in debt from student loans because we've been lied to by the boomers telling us that we've been promised that a guaranteed job and it's a well-paid job at that. It's gonna get you somewhere in life. We've been lied to about that. We've been lied to about like we're gonna find a good girl if we just stay on the right track and we just live a clean life. We got fucked there too. We got fucked in so many different ways. We got told that when you get older things are gonna get better. We got fucked there too. We got fucked
Oh
over there
man.
too. God damn it. I'm
Well,
trying to keep myself together, man. I'm really trying to. I'm like
yeah,
my
brother.
reaction is just
I
a
know.
my reaction is actually like I'm not actually like really laughing. I'm actually pretty sad. It's just that my
Yeah, but
natural reaction is just to laugh about it. Because
hey,
what else
man,
can you do? What else can you do?
that's a good outlook, bro. You're like a half glass full type of guy, which is great. That's good attitude. It is funny. Honestly, it is funny. You could definitely laugh about it. People make jokes out of it. I think that's a good way of letting out your rage. Because yes, it's infuriating, bro. I think people are young and I have hope. People like Nick Fuentes. He gives me hope, man. Look, here's the thing. I think with the next 15, 20 years, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, there's gonna be a divide between socialists, like hardcore liberalism, and conservatism. It's gonna be a huge clash.
Yeah.
That's where it's headed towards. So I think, like,
Listen,
yeah, I
dog,
think you
and
mentioned there other people. Go ahead.
dog, like, listen,
Yeah.
I understand. Like, I don't. I think women need to be understanding of how, for example, like Andrew Tate grew into the scene, and like Myron Gaines and all these other
They
like
don't
red
get.
pill dudes.
They're not gonna
I'm not.
understand, but good luck.
Well, you know what? I'm not. I was red pill before, and I feel like I've taken a step back a little bit, but I still agree with most things that's red pill. I'm just more like diet red pill, if that's what you want to say about me.
No,
I agree
I
more
think you.
things than I.
I
Yeah,
think you've been aware, but it's just not. It's like, okay, you understand, and you're moving on. It's like a process of, like, when somebody dies,
yeah.
you have a grieving phase, and then you move
You
on. I
know,
think you moved on.
I
Yeah.
was grieving and I had no idea I was grieving. And that's what happened
Right.
when I, saw that whole Andrew Tate coming into the algorithm and just blowing up. I just never realized how badly I needed like an older brother figure to look up to that can mentor me about how fucked this whole world is in terms of like how it is to be, just like a white dude or whatever. I mean, I'm half, but still like I'm in that, white adjacent territory. It still sucks ass, because you're like public enemy number one. Like fuck you if you're white, you're a guy,
Dude, 'cause
Everything that's wrong with this world, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. You were just
this
born
is
like you're born into circumstances. You're not part of the issue. You're just born into it, right? But you somehow, if you're a middle class, lower middle class at that, like me, lower middle class dude, normal white dude, adjacent, whatever. Fuck that word, anyways. But if you grew up in those type of circumstances, even though that you're not a big contributor to any large problem, you are the problem. You're treated as if you are the issue. That's what I hated so much. And then when I heard Andrew Tate, I felt like finally somebody gets it. Finally, I feel like I've been listened to. Somebody knows my pain. I felt like the
Well, let me
frustration
tell.
that I had was like being released from my body and my soul.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
weren't alone. I mean, you weren't like, oh, I'm not crazy. I'm not the only one thinking like this. It's
Yeah, I'm
like,
like I'm so everybody, man. It was
you're
more people than I
vindicated.
realized.
You're
Yeah.
vindicated. That's what happened. It was a like, okay, so I'm right, because deep down, a lot of men think like this, but because again, bro, as I said earlier, we're in a patriarchy, but we're thinking like women. Like that is you know what I'm saying? So deep down, you can't, dude, we're living in the world where men can't be men anymore. I grew up in California, you grew up in Washington. We're both from liberal states.
West Coast.
I
Yeah, West Coast liberal. Yeah.
and thank God I joined the military, bro, because that woke me the fuck up real quick. Back in this is bro, this is in 2010. And by the way, it wasn't as bad. Like SJWs weren't around in 2010. SJWs, it became known like around 2012, around there, right? That's where it went ape shit. That's where the whole, like, this mindset of feminism, third wave feminism, just took root and just went, gangbusters. It went crazy, right? It spread like wildfire at this end of the day. And unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, and I think the past podcast I mentioned, I highly recommend people to read The Crowd by Gustave Le Bon. I know it's a long read. It's written 100 years ago, but my God, this is what's happening. Like the LGBTQ, the third wave feminism, all these movements, bro, are based off of emotion. It's not based on tangible things like facts and evidence. It's all by emotion, and this is dangerous thinking. The book explains it thoroughly on how crowds and movements behave. And you can never, ever use reason and logic to groupthink, bro. This is what's dangerous about it. I don't want
But
to make
now
it sad.
look at where we at with universities. You realize for how many decades we've had universities that create these cult clubs, like what is it? Phi Alpha or Alpha Phi, whatever that shit is, right? Theta Alpha Beta, whatever,
Sororities and
Sororities. Yeah, these sorority
sororities and
clubs and all this shit.
sororities
It's
and
not just
fraternities.
education. Yeah, they're not just. It's not like, dude. All of this
Yeah,
is
it's
just
not.
to break down families. You separate kids from their families once they turn 18, which pretty much they're still at that age group where they can be susceptible to like, being impressioned very easily. Even like in my age group, being in my 20s, we're still very impressionable, because we still care about status. We still care about what people think about us. we still care about how we look. We still care about how we talk and how we say things and all this type of stuff. Imagine you have like a kid in his late teens entering through college up until his early 20s, or a girl for that matter, entering these sororities that basically tell you like you can only be part of our club if you think like us, if you're part of us, if you're with us, and we have these rules, and then we have like these do's and don'ts, and they remove the families, which is the big thing that I've said earlier. So that happens when you're 18, like, and everybody, if you grew up suburban, lower middle class, what have you, even whatever, the goal is for you to be sent over there so that you could be part of these clubs and get indoctrinated and be part of these groups. Soon enough, like, even though you can come up from like a conservative household, but then you get sent off to these campuses, you'll come back like a raging liberal. That's what happened to Nick's sister. They grew up in freaking Cincinnati, I think, or Ohio, right? Pretty Midwest life, suburban. She was normal, and then she just came back blue-haired, liberal arts degree, everything, completely different person.
What a travesty. Yeah, there's like videos of like a very attractive young lady, and then she does the whole transgender thing. She cuts her hair off, and then she does surgery to take out her breasts. And then you showed a before and after picture. I was like, oh my God, dude, this is just horrible. And
I showed
like,
that video on the group.
Was that the video?
I showed that video.
You shared it.
Yeah. It was me. It was like crazy because it showed you the step-by-step process of what she went through to mutilate herself. That's the crazy thing. You saw the step-by-step process.
If that is not a caricature of the age we're living in, the zeitgeist, I don't know what is, bro. That was it.
Wow.
That's the caricature of the times you're living in, bro. It's
Every day I wake up in the morning, I just can't help but just think, like, what time period am I living in? I swear, like, I could still remember what it was like 20 years ago and back in the year 2005. Was shit bad back then? It was, of course. That was like during the whole Iraq war period and Afghanistan 9/11, post 9/11 period. Yeah, things were bad. Gas prices were going up really high, I remember. But I still remember that there was still a sense of normalcy. I just didn't, I never would have thought in a million years all the stuff that we'd be complaining about today would ever happen. I never, who would have saw this coming?
Well,
who would have saw this coming? Well, maybe people who are older, but...
Well, early 2000s, I noticed that women were becoming more promiscuous. That's the only thing I noticed, which is, it was all right. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'll give an example. I didn't even have to try, dude. The women were way more aggressive when it comes to like, hey, let's hook up. In high school, dude, bro. In high school, majority of the girls were fucking sluts, bro. I'm gonna be straight up.
Is that why teen pregnancy was such a big thing, that they have advertisements talking about it? Like,
most
don't
definitely.
be like a pregnant mom. When you're in high school.
There was a daycare center next to our high school, bro. Okay.
Yo.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And back then we're like, that's crazy. Even he said like, wow, that's weird. But bro, it's again, dude, because if you look at the stats online, dude, since the 1970s, high school students were sexually, like 50% were sexually active, 50%. And then it's around, and it was around 50-60% from 70s all the way to the 90s. As soon as social media started, it dropped. You know why? That's when the dating apps came out, Instagram, Tinder, all that shit. And because back then, actually, normal dudes actually had opportunity to have sex with women. Because back then, before the internet blew up, we still only like hung out with people in our local area. But as soon as Instagram, Facebook, Tinder, all these dating websites, I mean, come on, let's be real. Instagram is like one of the best dating websites in the world. What happened is only the girls now were fucking like the small percentage of men. So now the normal dudes got screwed. So in the early 2000s, it was all right, man. It was like the 1970s. The average dude that just was not a weirdo and was decent looking had a chance, right? But now,
and I guess we have like this image that if you're just like, the average guy, which is like, maybe you look like one of those dudes that wore like loose jeans, went to the skate park and wore striped shirts, showing up, with those JanSport backpacks, right? And you probably have one of those short haircuts. Man. Yeah, short haircuts. I'm
getting just nostalgic. Like fucking rollerblades, skateboards and shit. Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah.
If that is like the average dude. Like, and I think a lot of girls would have like, and if you have like a pretty good personality and you were funny, like outgoing. Oh, dude,
Oh,
you're like an 8 to 9 for a dude. It wasn't that
bro, let
hard
me,
to be that, high up.
all right, dude, I gotta, okay. I never even said that. I'm gonna say some shit. I didn't do anything. Luckily, I didn't do anything that bad, okay? But I noticed the tricks. All right, bro. All right, all right, dude. So in sixth grade, I was a little overweight. I wasn't much of a looker, but in eighth grade, when I fucking got hella tall, I got into my frame. A lot of chicks kept, dude, they were aggressive. They were hella, like, obviously want to, but I'm like, dude, are you fucking crazy? We're 14 years old. I'm not gonna have sex with you. What the fuck?
Yeah,
But I know they
yeah.
wanted it, bro. They wanted it so bad. I'm like, oh god. I'm like, no, I'm not. Because I was terrified, dude.
Oh, that's
I learned
wild.
because dinner. I was terrified because I know how my sister was. I know how my cousins were at that. During that time, dude. My one of my cousins that was pregnant. She was fucking 14.
Ooh.
Okay. My other cousin was pregnant at 17. I knew them, my sister, my half sister, she's 8 years older than me, was a fucking slut. Okay. So I knew then that I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I wanted to, God, I did, but at the same time, I was too fucking scared. Because I was scared of being a dad. Straight up.
Yeah.
I could have, but I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna, I don't want to deal with the drama. And also there's a lot of drama with that shit. Okay. So man, I mean, knowing now, maybe it could. I don't know. I'm kind of glad I didn't do that. But bro, even in high school, I remember this one time I was in the okay, so I was in the wind ensemble band, right? And in the on campus, there's this building where we have the windows where we do our rehearsals. It's like a circular building, right? And during lunch, sometimes I have lunch in there just to escape from people and then just enjoy a quiet lunch and read something. And one time I was just standing up and I was like digging into my backpack, getting something out, and I feel somebody grab my ass. And I
Whoa.
turn around and this is fucking attractive Filipino girl. She's like 15 years old. I was what, like same age, we're the same age group. And she just fucking grabbed my ass and she walked out as I was like, I was
What
shocked.
the?
I was like, oh damn, yes, I would, but nah, I can't because I
Welcome
know
to high
myself,
school,
man.
huh?
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. Yeah. And I found out later on this chick, she's a complete slut. She fucking, I heard from the other guys, they ran a train on her. Dude, it's
Mm.
crazy, bro. It's just insane how girls nowadays, bro. I mean, this is back in the like late 90s, early 2000s. And college, I was in like 2005, 2006 in college. But bro, I would guarantee like a shit ton of 15-year-old girls today, bro, already had sex. So a lot of young women today, bro, are way more experienced with sex than the normal man, which is fucking weird. Like
Ooh,
the
that's
whole
scary, dude.
yeah, dude, the whole thing's flipped. There's way more virgin men than women today. And the past was the opposite. Like the whole thing flips there. That's what happened. So yeah, this is why we live in a gynocentric mentality, but in a patriarchy. Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, what happened to like the image of what like a normal guy was back then? Maybe I just watched too many freaking movies,
They're
but
not
I
enough. Normal
swear,
guy, bro. Normal
I
guys are
swear, I swear, dude. Like, if you were just
uh,
average height, just average height, dude. You wore oversized striped T-shirts with baggy jeans and like Converse or whatever, and you skateboarded and had one of those
not
Blink
fat, relatively
182.
skinny. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You're one of those dudes, and you knew how to talk,
Yeah.
and you were very easy and
Oh,
outgoing
easy
and had
pussy. Easy
charisma.
pussy all day,
Yeah,
bro. Easy pussy.
you're an
Yeah.
8 to 9, dude. You're an eight to
Yeah.
nine. So
Uh,
easy,
right,
so
right, right.
easy, dude.
Yeah.
Now, oh, you got to be making a 6K salary. You got to be good
Mm.
looking. You have to be like muscular. You have to basically you have to have like this X amount of followers on social media. You basically have to be like the top 0.0% of the population. For girls who are like even for girls who are fat asses, that's what they're looking for. Can you imagine that? Because
Yeah,
like
the
dude,
ego.
these dating apps, bro, it's crazy. I knew a girl, right, through like college, even years ago when Tinder started. She was a fat ass. Dude, she was a fat ass. And you know how many guys swiped on her? Millions. Her
Yeah.
DMs were unbelievable. Unbelievable. And she's fat.
Right.
She's not attractive, bro. Like,
Yeah, the
it's like, can you imagine? Like, even the
No,
girls
I'm
who
not
are like,
surprised anymore. I'm not
yeah,
surprised anymore.
dog.
The
It's like,
hubris, their hubris that is at an all-time high. Yes. Over inflated egos. That's what's happening now.
You know, I
Again,
talked to a
it's
girl. Dude, you know what reminded me is I talked to a Saudi girl like a few days ago, and she told me like, "Oh yeah, like you know, I'm 30 years old, but I look pretty young." And she's like, "I don't want to date a guy who's like below 6'3" because that's short to me, and I just want like you know, make sure that he makes around like you know 6K salary and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And you know, I was like. Is that why you're 30 and single still? You know what I mean? Because I'm like, what you're
well,
asking for, what you're
couple
asking
of
for is like 5% of the population, maybe 5% of the human population on planet Earth.
yeah, yeah. I
You
think
know?
50% of men in the world are over 6 feet. 15%
Oh
over
yeah,
six
yeah.
feet.
And then on top of that 6K salary, we're dropping that even
Oh,
lower.
that's
You
like
know,
1%. That's like less than
we're
1%.
dropping that even lower. We're dropping even
That's less.
lower.
That's like 0.01 or 0.001%. But again, women don't know. Again, women don't know logic. Let's go back to the whole feelings thing versus logic. Logic doesn't exist anymore when it comes to this type of mindset. And I think honestly, with that reason, I would controversial take, but most women are fucking retarded when it comes to no, for real. When it comes to looking for a future partner or spouse, whatever you call it. Now they call it part. Shit, I fucking hate me. I hate saying that shit. Partner, fucking spouse, a husband. Can we just say
Yeah.
husband? No, now it's partner. Which when I hear
Partner is such a
back,
politically correct. Yeah, it's
yeah, but
because of
partner sounds
faggots.
gay.
That's why they use it for. Yeah, they use it for fags. That's the
Now they
reason
say
why,
it's
because they
now it's
can't.
partner. It's like
Yeah.
what? Like bitch, you're a lady. You're not a guy. Stop being a women nowadays are trying so hard to be like a fucking guy to the point where it's fucking annoying. To the point where all these words say, "Oh, my partner, yeah, dude, what's up, bro? What's up, my nigga?" Like, bro,
Hmm.
you're a chick. You know what I'm saying? If you're attractive, you're attractive. But I'll never take you seriously. That's what most men will think when they hear a woman speak like that. Hey, what's up, bro? What's good, nigga? Like, what? Nah, I'm not gonna take you seriously. But if you're attractive enough, I would like to bang you. But you're not gonna give me the chance, right? Because I'm a normal guy. But whatever. Saying. So yeah, this is the world we live in. It's clown world. And my concern nowadays, I think we've had several conversations I mentioned before. Many big cities, anywhere in the world, I think most big cities in the world are like the West now. Not even America. It's like any big city you live in, it's westernized. Check out
Yeah,
Dubai.
yeah.
Do you know, okay, when a women in their 20s and she says, "Hey, I'm gonna go to Dubai by myself,"
Oh,
I already know what time it is. I know
escort.
exactly what's happening.
Hmm.
Exactly. Escort. Hey, I'm struggling here in my country. I'm gonna go on a fucking 6 month spree,
Yeah,
stack up,
sell
and
your
then come
pussy.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sell your pussy. Hmm.
And now I've been hearing like women saying, "Hey, maybe we should start giving like incentives for prostitution. Give like Medicare, 401k for prostitutes
Oh my
in
God.
America." And I've heard this conversation or the question asked already. So, I mean, yes, other countries do legalize it. I was shocked that Germany had a fucking red light district when I was in Europe. But anyways, yeah, it's clown world we're living in, dude. And I think I don't know how bad it's gonna get, but if this continues, it's getting really bad. And also think maybe this is intentional because I've also asked it in the past. Do you think this is just a natural occurrence or this is planned? Maybe it's both for this to happen because if you look at it at a governmental and a company points of view, it makes sense. It reduces population at the same time it makes a lot of money.
The
Because when
alternative
you
ultimately, well, when guys feel as if they're back against a corner and they have nowhere to go to, they're gonna always subvert themselves to the easiest possible matter so that they can still get their satisfaction. And what they will turn to is
prostitutes,
pornography. They will turn
yeah,
into prostitutes. But most of all, when technology gets better and better, it will be sex robots and virtual reality and having AI girlfriends.
so
That's
the
what it
Bible,
ultimately leads to. That yes,
Sodom,
yes, yes, because it's the path of
Sodom,
least resistance.
Sodom and Gomorrah makes a lot of sense now. It really does. Fuck, dude. That
Why do you
Bible, the
want
Bible,
to,
the Bible has so much wisdom, dog. I swear. Huh? What was that?
dude? Why? No, tell me why. Like you're a young dude, and at some point you feel so beat up from the dating market. You try and try and try. You fail. You fail. You fail. And you get into this deep depressive episode of constant like this reminder of you're not good enough. You'll never be good enough for women. And you know, you'll be so used to disappointment to where you feel sick and decide to yourself, you know what? As long as it's close enough to what I'm looking for, I'll settle down with that. and that's going to be basically AI. You're
Well, yeah,
gonna
that's
you're gonna
called
subvert
it's
yourself
baked.
because if it feels like it, like what difference does it make if it's real or not? Who gives a shit, right?
Well, it's
If you need
MGTOW.
if you need it that bad, if you need it that bad, if you need it that bad, that's why we, so many of us men were susceptible to, like, drug abuse, alcoholism, suicide. Nobody talks about like men's mental health. That's like taboo. Oh, you're just being a bitch. How many vets I know that they commit suicide? It's like, my old friend who lives over in Miami, like his neighbor, just like former Marine guy, he just like decided just jump off the balcony, just deleted himself. You
That's
know
so
what I
sad.
mean? Yeah, dude. And it's like no one gives a
Yeah.
shit about us. No one gives a
Well,
shit. You're a
yeah,
guy.
that's what MGTOW was a thing. Men going their own way. It's a thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh
Or
yeah,
the
that was way
black
before
pill.
Red Pill. Oh yeah, it was before Red Pill, man.
The black
Yep.
pill, MGTOW. I mean, look, dude. Look. I guess I was red pilled. I didn't know what it was until not that long ago when this whole manosphere. I never heard of this stuff. But
Yeah.
but all the stuff they talked about, I'm like, oh shit, I'm not alone on these thoughts. I thought I was the only one noticing this. No, it's just people are not, are not talking about. Because we keep, man, we're just simple, man. If we complain too much, nobody wants to be around us. So we just like, all right, we notice it, but we're just all right, whatever. I'm gonna hang out with my buddies and do something else. We're not gonna be bitching and crying about it. But at least it's getting so bad that men are talking about it, which is very unmanly like. But this has to be talked about. And now there's a niche for it. There's a market for this now. A lot of influencers are like, Cobra, was it? What's his name? The Cobra Kai? What's his name? Cobra. Well, fuck, what's his name?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I follow. Yeah.
So, like, men started speaking up. That's what influencers are speaking up about it, and there's a niche for it now. Have you heard of Rollo Tomasi? He's written a book called The Rational Male. Great books, man. He's written like 3 or 4 of them now. The Rational Male is great. He is this guy. He's in his 50s, and he talks about the red pill. He actually was one of the pioneers to put the red pill on the map. To be honest, before the red pill started coming out, it was like the manosphere. It was just a bunch of forums. It's been around since for a while actually. Since since the internet. Because they
I
noticed
think
once the internet
guys,
came out.
yeah,
Yeah.
guys just need hope. That's all I think. I think all this stuff is necessary, and we might disagree with some of it, but at the very least, like, guys just need some hope to just keep going.
Well,
Because
I mean, that's where
you know
the passport bro thing is a thing now. People are like, "Hey, I'm one of them."
it's
I
just
left
hard.
United. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's an avenue to take, but it's still going to be hard because we're dealing with globalism. That's the tough part that we're still going to fight no
Right.
matter where we go to, is globalism.
Correct.
The
Correct.
circumstances can change and they can be a little bit better, but we still battle the same battle because
Right.
women are becoming more or less basically the same everywhere.
Yes.
They're
Correct.
flooded with attention. They don't know what to do with it. And so they think to themselves that they're basically like, I don't know, Adriana Lima, from Victoria's Secret. Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's just
Right. Because
hard for just the average dude to just cope with it because they're just, I mean, I have to say, I mean, I'm speaking as if like it's not me, but it is me. It's basically like it's not hard for me to like get a girl's attention and then, talk to her for a little bit. But then eventually she just lose interest and she just leaves me. And I'm just
the
like,
flakiness, the
shit.
flakiness is more apparent now. Because dude, attention span is gone. Dude, think about it. Like again, it's a big factor. I mean, it's always been a problem with women, but the internet and these apps exacerbated the problem hundredfold. That's what happened. Dating apps,
Yeah.
social media. As I mentioned earlier, I think back then when I first talked to you, I said I gave an analogy. Pornography is to men as women is to social media. So it's attention. They just love attention. It's like sugar, right? And if you just now back then, before the internet, like, and that's why in high school, the average Joe gave attention to a average girl. She actually appreciated it. But now she could get attention every second of the day by thousands of men.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That is a fact.
There's a girl I talked to before on this app, right? And she was like, we actually hit it off pretty well at first. She was cool and like we talked. Seemed like, well, she was very upfront. She said that she liked me, for example, right? Just talking to me. And then she would actually screenshot and show off like all the dudes that would message her. And she's just like, laughing about like, look at all these people like from all these different places trying to hit me up and message me, and I would laugh about it too. And then eventually she's just like, ghosts me and then leaves me basically, and she's like, see ya. I'm like, what just
Well, yeah.
happened?
Dude, that average girl now has a roster of guys.
Oh wow.
That's why we paid attention to the conversation yesterday when Haley. I hate using her as an example, but I mean it's fresh in my mind. She's one of many girls that say the same shit, especially when she said look. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But when she said I took a 3-year hiatus from, I'm like, yeah, sure. So you probably haven't used the internet as well. You know what I'm saying? I would believe you didn't use the internet for 3 years as well, but I highly doubt it.
Dog, I mean, she said
So
herself, like she had to correct herself for a second, right, and reiterate, like, what was it? She said like, oh, I went through like 8 different guys to just go out on dates, but I went one by one. I'm like, girl, you had 8 dudes lined up already. Why? Why? 8? Are you kidding me? And you still couldn't find someone.
there is a lot of, if you pay attention to man, I hope people who are listening, if you listen to the previous episode, if you are red pilled or awake, if you're not a stupid guy, there was a lot of red pill moments. I'll be honest. What she was saying, so many red flags. I didn't say anything. I just let her talk, but I knew right then. I'm like, all right, all right. I already, this is like another rodeo. I've been on this rodeo so many times. It's like, okay. But I think people are slowly waking up to this fact. Most men today are still asleep to this reality. That is what it is, man. I think some of
I
my family
understand that it's
members
hard.
are still
I
asleep.
understand. Yeah, I understand that it's difficult to kind of confront and talk about, but we can't
Bro,
deny how real it is.
but here's the thing. This is important. I'm glad we're having this discussion, and there's already influencers already talking about this, but at least we're talking about it ourselves. This, bro, honestly, this prevents from men killing themselves. If men knew about what's really happening, they won't self delete. But a lot of men are self deleting because they're still stuck in the old mindset. I don't know who coined the term. I think it was Mayan Grains that coined the term. Women are living in 2025 and men are living in 1950. No, that's for real.
Oh, jeez.
A lot of
Oh,
men have this
man.
mentality that women are nothing nice and sugar, everything nice is sugar and spice and everything nice, whatever that term is.
Yeah,
No,
no,
bro,
it's not. Yeah,
that's
no,
not the.
no,
It's not.
no,
It's not.
no.
The women, the ladies, they're no longer, bro. They're no longer ladies. I don't know if I met. There's ladies out there, but ladies are a fucking dying dinosaur. They're not ladies
Yeah.
anymore, my friends. The concept of
Oh, and
lady
they
is
get married
not
already.
around.
Like they get found. Like someone already said, and I've said
Yeah,
it
of
before
course.
too. Good
Yeah,
women, they get found really quick,
most of them
really
are
really
taken
quick.
already for a
Oh yeah,
reason. Yeah.
yeah, they're already taken.
No,
Fuck
but
you.
I'm like,
You
look,
know,
man, I can't give you a percentage. There's still good women out there, but most of the time they're not, they're already taken. I
yeah,
think,
not for you. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like in the military, right? If you're talking about red pill moments, like before the red pill came out, that was my school, I guess. As far as like, oh, wake up, you idiot. Because I learned like a lot of women cheat, a lot of wives cheat. The single women are like majority of them are whores. I think I've only met one young couple in their 20s that were married. If I can remember, only one, and the rest were like bunch of single moms or women that don't have are married but don't have kids and are cheating on their husband. That's crazy. I have oh man, I already told you the other day, like you don't even know how many women who are already married are just cheating on their husbands left and right. It's
Oh
fucking
yeah, yeah. I talk to those chicks too, and they never tell me. But then it becomes obvious when they add you on Facebook and they forgot to remove their husband there. Oh man.
uh,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's
dude.
I'm like, dude, and this girl was like from Belarus, of all places, and she was like talking to me, and she's like, never mentions her husband, but she has one there, and she adds me on social media, and it's like talking to me privately on Telegram. I'm like, yo, I'm not comfortable with this at all. Like, you have
It's
a
very
husband.
awkward. It's very
Why
awkward, right?
the fuck are you texting me, private messaging me, adding me on social media? And you have a husband you're married to. How would he feel about that? How would he feel about that? So I blocked her ass, you know?
Bro.
I'm not gonna be one of those
Oh,
homewreckers. Hell no.
bro,
I'm not.
bro.
Yeah,
I
no
gotta
way.
tell you something. Okay, Tandem, right? Tandem,
Yeah.
bro. Okay, bro. Tandem is also a dating app. If
Oh
there's an
yeah.
option,
Oh,
there's an
they make
option,
it very obvious.
right? So Tandem is a language learning app, kind of like HelloTalk. So HelloTalk and Tandem are just dating apps because it has that option of nearby. Look for people nearby,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big option, right, dude?
Oh yeah.
I met two women. No, actually three because I was in Vietnam. So, but in America, I met two women. All right, both of them were already married. Right. and both of them wanted to meet me. It's fucking crazy, right?
My
I
God.
well, at the time, I didn't know they were married at the time, but when I met up with them, I can still see the fucking ring on their finger. I'm like, "Oh, shit, what's going on
What
here?"
the hell,
And
dude?
I was like, "Yo, like, fuck, dude." There's a term in Spanish, we call it sin vergüenza, meaning no shame type of shit. I got to the point where I was just weirded out. Well, one of them I kind of did the deed because I didn't meet the husband. But the second, the other one, one time I was they said, hey, just come over. We're having a party. You can come over because I'm practicing Chinese, right?
Yeah.
So they were impressed with my Chinese. I'm a white dude. They're like, oh my god, they got interested, right? Because I
Yeah.
stand out, because how women that's how women
Mhm.
women pay attention to a guy that kind of stands out a bit. I guess
Oh,
I guess in
yeah.
their perception, I stood out because there's a white dude that speaks, so Chinese.
Yeah.
So I went to their house and then I met the whole family. That was cool, right? Whatever. And I was like, okay. Well, here's the thing. So there's she's a chick in her 20s, right? She invited me over to the house. Well, I was talking to her, and then later on, she messaged me saying, "Oh, hey, my mom likes you." I was like, "What the fuck?" And I met her husband. I mean, at the time I was with them, met his husband, everybody. And she actually, and one time she invited me over to a park with her friends. It was just the girls and just me. I was like, man, this is fucking weird, dude. And yeah, she tried to hit up on me. I'm like, oh fuck, this is awkward because I already know the guy. I don't know how you guys, but when I meet a guy and he has a wife and his wife tries to hit on you, I find it to be really uncomfortable. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know. Maybe you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't wanna start drama and shit. I don't wanna be the fucking, in Spanish, el Sancho Cuernudo, you know what I'm saying? El Sancho Cuernudo. I don't know how to say it in English, but it's like the dude that's contributing to the cuckoldry. You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna
Nobody
make the other
wants to
dude a
be
cuck.
that dude. Yeah, no one. Nobody wants to be that dude,
It's really
man.
weird, bro. I mean, people do it. People don't give a fuck. Black people. Uh Tyrone's and fucking Tyrese's, they don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I have a conscience and shit. It was just weird. I mean, she's in her fucking late 30s. Like, whatever, man. She was in, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why the fuck am I gonna risk fucking getting into drama, possibly of husband finding out and I die? It's like it's not worth, it's not worth the squeeze and shit. I mean, it's fucking old, I'm saying, come on, man. Come on. 36-year-old woman, the pussy ain't all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna risk my fucking you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Anyways,
no.
so,
God.
you know, whatever, man. If you hit me up. But, yeah, dude, and at the time, I was working at Tesla, and a lot of dude, there were so many fucking whores there, so it was yeah, so there were whatever. I'm look, man, one night stands and hookups are easy as fuck, bro, okay? When it comes to, like, well, I don't know, I'm not a super handsome guy, but I'm 6 feet tall, I'm not fat, I guess I'm decent looking because women like older men apparently. So when I was in Tesla, yeah, man, it was easy. And I told you the other day, when my lead said, "Hey, all these women are sluts," he wasn't lying. He wasn't fucking lying. So
Oh,
it was
man.
whatever. So now again, I don't wanna boast and shit, but it is what it is. Women do like tall guys and a little bit older, and I was actually working out, so I guess I was decent looking. But and I'll be honest, man. I'll be honest. I think what I give advice to guys, bro, you can't be weird. If you're short, you definitely got to go to the fucking gym, and you might have a chance. But most guys, I gotta blame the guys, man. Let's be real. A lot of guys are lazy as fuck. They don't go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? And they're beating their pussy. They're weird. They're very feminized. So I get it. You know what I mean? So yeah, if guys could definitely get a chance, but you have to compete more. You mentioned earlier, it's just way more competitive, way more now. Because now you're not competing with men in your local vicinity. You're competing with the whole world, man. You're competing with the whole
So
world. Because I mentioned earlier, only
unbelievable.
15% of men in the world are 6 feet tall. Only 15%.
Unbelievable.
So that's why
Unbelievable.
my height saved me, to be honest. Yeah, because that's the first
I
thing
mean,
women tell me. Oh my God, you're so tall. I'm like, I'm not tall. I'm only 6 feet. She's like, no,
for a
that's
lot of
tall.
girls,
Yeah.
for a lot of girls, we're just like, I mean, the problem is that we're basically just like disposable anyways, though, at the same time. I mean, for me, like what
Yeah,
helps
it's
is that
whatever. It's a fling.
for me, what
It's a
helps is the fact that I'm Russian, but I'm also half Asian. So if
yeah.
I put that on my profile, oh, dude, when I put that on my profile, because I got tired of just people asking me, "What are you? What are you? What are you?" So I'm like, fuck. I'm just gonna put in my profile so people just stop asking me that. Whoa, dude, I got tons of messages, a
Yeah.
lot, dude.
You
And
stand out. Yeah.
yeah. On top of that, it was just like even like girls who were like really like, you know, eights and nines, whatever. Like if I just waved at them, they would just like wave back. You know what I mean? The hard part is obviously just retaining them. That's a whole different ball game. I'm not even gonna go into that. That's obviously as far as it gets for me, you know? But yeah, retaining them, oh dude. We're
Good luck with
disposable,
that.
man.
No,
We're
no, 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 no.
disposable. We're
No, that's what
disposable. Even
that's what you got, dude. That's why guys have to play the same game women play. As a guy nowadays, men have to have their roster too.
we don't have
You
a
gotta
choice. Like,
you gotta
you know,
have
oh,
you gotta
girls would
play
be
the
mad
game.
at
You gotta play the game.
girls
Yeah, you gotta
are
play the
mad at
game.
me. It's like, oh, you message so many girls, don't you? Like you're a player. I'm like, no, I'm not. I prefer not to be actually. I prefer just talking to one girl. The
Settle
problem is that
down.
you guys leave
Yeah.
me. You guys always leave me. You guys get
Right,
bored
right,
and
right,
leave
right.
me all the time. I don't have a
Yeah.
choice. I don't want to waste my time anymore. So what do? I message a bunch of them, and maybe 10% of them, it's like they might take it somewhat seriously and just like have conversation with me. Do I have a choice to force them? Obviously not. They're their own people. They're grown adults. They can do whatever they want. If they choose to drop me, it's like, oh well, you know.
Check this
Sometimes you
out.
win, sometimes you lose. I mean, yeah, you checked out. Like I can't force you to stay with me. Like I'm very like I don't like the idea of leaving anyone at all. Like I'm very, very much so a person that just wants to stick around long term.
Right.
But a lot of
Right.
girls they don't. They
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
girls they might say that, but again, the feelings take over, and then they're just like, you know what, you're boring. You're not
No, look,
as fun as
and
you
bro,
know.
you know this fact very well. You know this fact very well. And then the other day when I was talking to Amy, she says, "What if? What if? What if? What if he hits you? What if?" Like, no, these things don't just happen. Majority of the reason why things happen is women leave. It's not the guy. And when women say, "Oh, what if?" That's a non sequitur. It's a moot point because men don't leave. You leave for ridiculous, pointless, illogical reasons. It's all about what? Feelings at the end of the day. Boredom, feelings, right? No duty, no honor, no women don't do man of the word. You don't say woman of the word, it's man of the word. There's like loyalty. Men understand loyalty, women don't. And that's a fact. Especially women never been loyal, right? But now today, again with the internet, it exacerbated the problem.
Dude, come
So
on.
when women
I'm begging you to come back to Hello Talk. I
Oh
can't
no, I'm
take
gonna
it
get
anymore,
banned
dude.
again. I don't want to lose another phone, man. I'm gonna lose another fucking phone.
Oh,
Uh,
god damn it.
dude, it's a waste of time, man. I'll be honest. I'd rather be doing this and shit, and people could listen and comment and talk shit. I'd rather do that. If we continue to post this on YouTube, that's gonna get banned. By the way, we have to start posting on Kick and Rumble, but whatever. We'll continue to do YouTube for a while because we're not
Oh
known yet.
man.
Well, I really want to promote this, but it's gonna be fucking dangerous. I gotta confirm with the other guys about the shit. I don't want to make it too red pill because I think a lot of
Oof.
people in our group also don't are not into the red pill thing. But anyway, we could have discussions about it. It'd be fine. I like to have discussions about this because there's people that still think the red pill is like an ideology. Red pill to me is just okay. Here's the lay of the land. Understand it and adapt. It's not. I'm not going to preach about it. It's not a movement. It's not a religion. It's just understanding what's happening. That's it. It's kind of like, oh, like it's raining outside. Here's an umbrella. Okay, the red pill is just a fucking umbrella. Are you going to prepare for the fucking storm or not? That's it. And just do it doesn't tell you what to do. It just explaining what's happening. That's all it is. And people say, "Oh no, the red pill is like a movement or it's a cult or whatever, whatever." No, man, it's just understanding the reality, living in a gynocentric world. Because again, we have this feminized way of thinking nowadays. All of these words, these buzzwords, are so embedded in a lot of people's minds that they don't understand where they came from. Toxic masculinity, misogynistic, da 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 da, patriarchy, blah 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 blah. I guarantee you, a lot of people don't know what misandry means. Misandry is people hating men, a hatred of men. Misogyny, we know very well because people use it all the fucking time, and
Yeah,
a lot
that
of people
word
don't. So
never gets used. Yeah, that
and a
word
lot of
never gets used.
yeah, but that's a fact. I think there's more misandry happening than misogyny. But people, and here's the funny part: the people that say misogyny, a big percentage of people don't even know what misogyny means. They're just repeating the words from other people, and they don't think about shit, and they use a lot of words that doesn't make shit sense. For example, that Mario and I were talking about emotional intelligence. Bro, this word was never used when I was a kid. Okay. Mario and I opened a voice room on Tandem recently, and we actually, titled like something like, "Can you explain what emotional intelligence means?" And that was a great room because people were trying to explain it. And we had a great conversation. But it's incredible to me that this is even used. People don't even know what it means. To be honest, there's a lot of convoluted euphemisms. These are all euphemisms. These are buzzwords that have no actual tangible meaning. To be honest. So they use word salads to justify their beliefs and behaviors, which is very dangerous, my friend. This is fiction. If you don't know what words mean, you can't explain what the word means, and you're using it in your language, that is a problem. Because if you use these words, you believe in something that you can't explain. You know what that's called? Make believe, fiction.
Oh,
Fucking
dude, it's
crazy.
so true.
And that's why we live in the clown world. It's clown world, dude. Because people go by feelings of what sounds good. Oh, and other buzzword I hear is your truth, or
What does that even mean? What does that
or
even
we,
mean? Like your truth?
or we should respect everybody's opinions. No, motherfucker. There's a difference between facts and opinions. And the whole concept where your truth came from is people don't know what being objective and what subjective means. I also opened a voice room on Tandem saying, "Is reality subjective?" Bro, that room lasted 2 days straight.
Holy
Because
moly!
people were fucking discussing that if reality subjective, bro. Back then it only take you 5 seconds to say no, motherfucker. It's objective. We have one
Yeah.
reality. What is subjective bullshit? And this is the result. Guys and women were saying this. Not all of them. There's some guys and women said no, it's subjective. But majority of them subjective. What the fuck is going on, bro? Men and women are saying reality is subjective. This is a problem, sir.
We're really. I
This is
understand when
fucking
people
scary.
say
This is
we're
fucking
born
scary.
we're born in the wrong generation, dude. We're born in the
Bro, this is
wrong
fucking
generation.
scary. Bro, people have the I'm the only character in the what is it? Solipsistic mindset. I'm the character of my reality, and everybody's an NPC.
What does that even
That's
mean? Like explain that. Like
Well, that's what means reality subjective because my subjective reality is what what I'm saying because that's pretty much saying my reality, my experience is the reality of everybody's reality. No, you can't base your own experience to the rest of the world. That's why a lot of people can't speak in generalities. Like a lot of people don't have the concept of thinking outside of themselves and looking at the bigger picture of the world. It's kind of like saying, I'm a millionaire, my friends are millionaires, we eat every day. So because of my experience, I think there's no such thing as human hunger. There's no such thing as famine. How stupid do I sound? That's what it is. No, motherfucker. Famine and people dying of hunger, it's happening every day. Millions of people are dying. But no, it's
yeah,
not part of
it's
my reality. So it's not real. That's your opinion. That's your truth.
that's
How
so
fucking
wild, man.
dude, that's it. That's what people do. That's I'm not saying all, but a shit ton of people think this way. This is dangerous, my friend.
It's a dark time, dude, to be a
Bro.
guy now. It's a dark, dark, dark
Well,
time for
that's your
young
opinion,
guys
bro.
now.
That's your truth. That's your truth, bro.
I guess so. I guess fuck me if I'm not making 6K salary and
Get it
you
together, bro.
know
Stop being a grouch. That's your truth.
X4. Yeah, yeah. Man, try harder, then maybe you'll get somewhere.
I mean, we actually can. That's the only thing we can do, bro. Is like do your
That's all
like
you can
honestly.
do. That's all you can do.
I gotta tell any guy, bro, and I'm so happy. Look, it's sad that I'm not married, but at the same time, I have my peace. At least I have my peace for the love of God. At least, look, I could deal with being lonely. I could call you, I could call Mario, I could do something, fine. But when it comes to picking the wrong woman, that is hell and slavery. Fuck
Oh, and that happens to a lot of
Fuck
guys.
that. So when you feel lonely and sat down a little bit, and I think about, well, at least I'm not a fucking slave. I'm good, bro. Because there's a lot of men out there, bless their hearts, and I wish you guys luck. I'm not in your fucking situation because I'll guarantee you, there's a lot of fucking men that are husbands, and their life is a living hell. Fuck that, bro.
It's that was
Having
the case with
look,
Nick.
having all the responsibility with no authority is slavery. That's what's happening right now.
Dude, and but man, the lucky guys out there, it's like, man, I know some guys they have like and it's few of them. I do know it's few. They got really good girls. They're very loyal to them, and they're just like best friends. You never see them like
That's
you
awesome.
know
That's great.
separate like at all. They're always hanging out and they're doing things together, always doing new things. And for a lot of guys, that's all that they want. That's
Right.
all that they want is like
Correct.
to have a person, someone who's a wife, girlfriend, whatever, that sticks around with them through good times, through bad times, and they get to share those moments. Most people don't like to be by themselves completely to some degree. Most people don't. And they're looking for something like that. And I feel like a lot of girls, they might say that they want that, but that's not the whole picture. That's not the whole frame. No, 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 no. No, it's not.
All right,
No.
can I
They'll
give
bang
you
a
a
bunch of
list?
dudes. They'll bang a bunch of dudes, and maybe they're one of those that bang top percent. They share the dudes, right? They share dudes with other chicks, right? And then they decide, okay, they try to go for Craig, who works as a computer programmer when she's like early 30s, whatever, ran through, like a brick house. And
Oh,
you know,
dude,
and then
check
poor
this out.
Craig, poor Craig, he finally thought he had it, finally he settles down, and then she cheats on him, and was like, yeah, she's just bored. Divorce, if they have kids, he loses the kids. She takes half his assets. They go to court, back to square one again.
Yeah, yeah. That's again.
Oh
That's
yeah, oh yeah.
it's 1960s, man. 1970s. That's where it changed. Because back then, that's where religion was in place. People actually had morals back then. There was actual honor and duty back then. Now it's all selfish purpose, selfish reasons. Right? Men work their ass off. Okay, here's the thing. I always tell people. I said, why most straight men work their ass off not because they love it, because they want to have women and eventually want to settle down with the family. That's what men work their ass off.
Yeah.
If there's a gay dude or doesn't give a fuck about girls, he wouldn't even buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? I mean, by the way, I think there's a lot of really productive gay people, by the way, because some guys are very flamboyant and they're very girly, so of course they want to buy a lot of shit, very materialistic. But whatever. But a lot of but you know what I'm saying? Men have a purpose to work their ass off. It's to have a chance, right? Why
Yeah.
do women? And okay, to flip it around, why do women work their ass off? Why do they have to go to work and painstakingly work for a guy or boss that doesn't give a shit and can fire you for any reason? And you
They
have to
don't
do
they don't
all these
have to.
things.
Yeah,
No,
they
no,
don't
no,
even
but
have
women,
to do that.
they don't
Yeah.
have to. But why are they doing it though? That's what I'm asking.
Because they want to prove themselves equal to men. That's the reason why.
That's
Well, they
one
have
reason.
a
But
they have a tainted perspective of it because, it doesn't prove that they're equal to men. They just prove that they're equal in pretty much, being able to go after the same opportunity.
that's fine.
Because I mean, it's
Sure.
like, but who cares? Like
Well,
what? Like
okay.
who actually cares? Who actually cares? Because
Well,
I
men
bet
don't
you a
really
lot of
get.
these
Well, men don't
chicks.
get. Well, men don't give a fuck. I don't really care
Oh,
what
she
a
works at a
woman's
freaking
job is.
barista at a coffee shop. I mean, you
They
see
don't
guys
care.
like who are older. Oh, they don't care at
Uh,
all, dude. They
as
don't
long as
care at
you're hot
all.
and attractive and nice, we'll give you a chance. But okay,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other reason too. Okay, have you heard of independent? I want to be an independent man. No, it's just being a man. Yeah, women use independent woman. Okay, that's the. I want to be an independent woman. So what does that mean?
Yeah,
Independent from guys. That's it. I don't need a man. I could be what? I could do whatever I want. What does that mean? I could be
yeah.
promiscuous. I can
It
sleep with
always
whoever I
goes
want.
back to this. It goes back to this all the time. Don't you notice that always goes back to
Yeah,
this? Like it's always about women proving to men that they can do the same things. In
yeah,
reality,
it's yeah,
most men do not give a shit.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't go to sleep every single day at night thinking to myself, "Oh, damn it, women, they take away my job. They're working 40 hours a week. I can't take it anymore." I don't. I go to
Uh,
bed in peace, like a baby. I never think about this stuff, but they do constantly because they always want to mention it. I want to prove myself. I want to prove myself that I can even fight a man. I can beat him up. Where does that come from? That's how Roma is. If you ever remember talking to Roma, and she even openly admits to that. At least I
right,
respect
right.
the fact that she's open about it and says like, I
I
just want
can
to prove
I
myself
can
to a
tell
man.
far away she's a hardcore feminist in the Middle
Oh
East.
hell yeah!
The way she's
Oh
speaking, oh my
hell
god, damn, you're a straight fembot.
she admits too that
Well, she was in
when it
Dubai,
comes to
bro.
Islam,
Wasn't she in Dubai for a while? She got dude, she just got the brain
and then she went
program.
to
Yeah.
Riyadh to, they were like in Riyadh. I mean, sorry, Dubai, and then they moved to Riyadh over in Saudi and stuff
As I
like that.
mentioned earlier,
She's
I
very,
think
she's very materialistic. I do get the impression
well,
that
that's how
she's
women.
very materialistic.
Well, that's how women are nowadays, bro.
Make the
As I said
money,
earlier,
yeah,
she. I don't want to. I mean, I haven't been to Riyadh or Dubai, but I said earlier, every big city in the world are like this. Women are like that. Yeah. Maybe the only women that are actually like women and ladylike are like small towns and villages that nobody knows about, and that is
yeah.
slowly disappearing, my friend.
I've analyzed this woman, and it seemed to me like she admits that she likes Islam because Islam
Uh,
gives her like a sense of like discipline, puts her in her place. And I'm like, there's something very disgenuine about that. That I was like, so you mean to tell me? Because she even admitted, she said out loud. I don't even know if she knows it, but she said out loud too. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit that without it, I'm pretty sure I would do a lot of crazy stuff. She's like, I would have, went dancing to clubs, would have got some tattoos. You know what I mean? Had some fun, try stuff like, drink, whatever, But she was like, she just decided to like, start a family, have a husband, all that because she was, coerced by her family to just do so and to give it a shot, basically, and she's dealing with that. But I could
you know
tell.
what?
I could
I don't
tell.
want to.
Like she
I don't want to.
hates being no, like dude, she doesn't like being a mom. It seems like,
Oh,
to
okay,
be
let me
honest.
say something. I could tell when look, Roma's cool when we had conversations. She's cool to talk to, but bro, I could tell when she's talking and her kid needs attention. The fucking kid is being loud as fucking playing. It's pretty much saying, "Hey, mom, can you please give me attention?" And she's like, "Oh
Yeah.
no, 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 I'm gonna ignore you, bro." Like I wanted to. Oh man, I'm not gonna say it. I don't condone slapping people, but god damn it, like, what the fuck are you doing? Be a mom. Play with him to the point where he falls asleep. Then you can go on Hello Talk and talk. But don't fight. If the kid's awake, give him attention, bro.
She's always joining our voice rooms too at the same time. Always joining the voice room, seeing what's up every day, every day.
And the kid
And
is
it's
like fucking yelling and loud and shit. And she's like, all right, hold on a second. Like the kid's like a fucking nuisance more than a blessing, dude. And this is the problem, my friend. This is the fucking problem. Women are moms, mothers are prioritizing their happiness over duty, bro. A mother is a beautiful thing if you're doing it right, but most women don't want to be mothers, bro. Most women today don't want to be mothers or wives. This is fucking scary, dog.
yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Like and this is what has been festering for the past. I could say I can't speak for the rest of for the United States since 1960s. Because again, back then when people were simple, we didn't have that many distractions, we didn't have that many devices, we didn't have that much material things, and it makes sense. It was simpler times back then. Family, cousins, getting around, having meetups every weekend. That was the highlight of the week. Okay,
Yeah.
just having
Uh
people over. Now people are becoming fucking like mosquitoes. You get annoyed. I'd rather just be at home all the time on my
huh.
phone.
Uh huh.
And then now oh god, it's so hard to be a mother. Really? Oh, 1 second later. I was going off.
I can't even
Like
relate to this. I'm 27 for God's sakes. I have
no,
no.
look.
I don't even have a
Bill
girlfriend.
Burr, Bill Burr. Man, I love Bill Burr. A comedy, by the way. Comedy is such the last bastion of sanity. By the way, this political correctness got so bad that it almost ruined comedy. But thank God Dave Chappelle saved that. Have you seen the specials? Thank God for Dave Chappelle because he really pretty much talked major shit to the PC crowd, which is fantastic. So now people are like lax on comedy. Thank God because it was getting really bad. Anyways, Bill Burr did a great little yeah, it's crazy. Bill Burr did a great like segment of saying, "Real is being a mom really that difficult?" I think there's more difficult jobs in the world, like a miner working in a fucking
Goodness.
oil rig, being a lineman, fucking, what I'm saying, this fucking Boston accent and shit. All you gotta do is pop in some fucking DVDs and watch cartoons with a chick and take a nap. Yeah, it's boring, but it's fucking easy as fuck. You can say it's boring. You can say that. It's not difficult. It could be boring, sure. But god damn it, you got a duty.
The
Value your
mind.
kid.
I've
Value
learned a
your kid,
lot.
bro.
I swear to God, I've learned so much about women through
What the
her
fuck?
because of how openly she says certain things out loud.
Oh,
It
yeah.
shocks me, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, now I have a sense of clarity. It makes sense. Now this makes sense.
Okay, I'm
She
gonna say
openly
something.
admits the fact she didn't want to have a family,
Uh,
but her family coerced her. She got married. She was looking for those prerequisites of a tall guy that made a lot of money. She found that. She has a kid with him now, and she's still not satisfied with it completely. And she's waiting for that moment when she finally gets satisfied. At some point when he's grown enough, I guess, at some point, and among other things too, she's just like she's still like I could still sense that she has the FOMO of like the fear of like missing out on things. Always asking about like always looking at other people and thinking, oh, if I wasn't a mom, I'd be doing this. If I wasn't a mom, I'd still be doing that, and this and that. She doesn't want to openly admit about certain things, but she said so much to the point to where I don't have to hear anymore. She already says it out loud. So
Bro,
I don't know.
and you know what's so funny about this? People with privilege are it's a privilege is invisible that they have the privilege. It's invisible. They can't see the privilege that they have. Bro, men work their ass off. Men have to be interesting. Men do awesome shit because yes, it's cool, but they have to be cool because if not, they're not gonna have a chance. So men have to work. Men have to be interesting because there's a goal behind it. So when women look at men doing things and have like careers and stuff, women look at it like it's a game. Like, oh, I want to do it too. This is fun. Like, no, bitch, it's not fun. I have to do this. I have to do this. Do you think working? Do you think working is fucking fun? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? No, it's competition, dog. Men are competing amongst with other men because they want an opportunity with women, and women don't understand that. They think, "Oh no, this looks fun. I want to be a lawyer, and I'll try this. I'm gonna try that." No, bitch, it doesn't work that way. This ain't a fairy tale, dog. Work really? You rather fucking slave your life away for a company that doesn't give a fuck about you instead of a guy that would actually take care, like love you and care for you and give you children and love and all the basic needs. No, that's not enough. That's not enough. You know what I'm
Nothing
saying?
is enough. Dude,
Like what the
motherfucker,
fuck,
nothing is enough. Nothing is
bro?
enough. Nothing is.
Like what the
Nothing
fuck?
is.
And you know what's funny too? I don't know if you listened to the previous episode. I think 2 episodes ago, Mario and I were talking, and he posted an article with I think it's in our Telegram shenanigans feed, where it's like a little article of a 30-year-old woman, and usually women wise up when they're 30 and they're single and it's fucking too late because most men don't want them.
Oh,
Anyways,
yeah,
and she said
yeah.
all my women are still single, and then she goes, "Fuck it, I'll be honest. Well, all me and my friends and my age range, we were chasing unicorns." Oh, you finally realized that? Holy shit! Rollo Tomasi, he calls this the epiphany stage. I think I mentioned earlier when women have to buy their drinks at the bar. That's the epiphany stage.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
less
Oh, yeah.
less and men are giving them attention, and they go, "Oh shit, I'm running out of time. I have to find a guy." That type of bullshit, dude. You don't even
Now
know,
they're
bro.
in a rush. Now they're in a
They're in a
rush.
rut.
Now
Yeah, it's
they're
like it's like
compromised.
cramming for the exam, right? And I've spoken to several people in Hello Talk and Tandem, a lot of women in their late 20s and early 30s, and they're like, and I can tell they're worried, bro. I can tell they're fucking, a lot of women can be sending me messages and shit, like being all funny and shit. You know what I'm saying? Once I said I gave like a little snapshot of a conversation I had with a Chinese woman. We're speaking in Chinese, and I said, "Well, I'm kind of like a child when I speak Chinese." And she goes, "You want to make one together?" I'm like,
Whoa.
"No." Yeah, but she's in her late 20s, like early 30s. And I'm like, "Wait a minute." And I told her in Chinese, "Well, I don't know you, but a lot of simps can help you with that." That's what I wrote. She went, haha, and then she stopped talking to me.
God
Bro,
damn,
I'm not gonna
dude.
fall for your stupid trap. I'm not a dumbass. Yeah,
Yeah. I think even, dude,
we'll
Canadian
bullshit you get
John,
Tiango.
Canadian.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll bullshit you get Tiango. I'm not a licking dog. That's what I told her. I'll bullshit you get Tiango. I'm not a fucking simp. Tiango means simp in Chinese. And then she's like, ha ha, and then she stopped talking to me. Man, it's fucking idiot. So there's a lot of
Please
there are a lot of desperate bitches, dude. A lot
copy
of
and
desperate
paste that
bitches.
for me.
Huh?
Copy and paste that for me. Tiango. No, Tiango, I already
Yeah.
know what it means, but the whole phrase, so I can just use that randomly and just,
Bullshit you get
out
Tiango.
of
I'll type
frustration.
it for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll type it in the
I'm gonna
chat.
use that shit. Well, give me one second.
Yeah.
Let me grab something from my fridge.
Yeah, no worries.
Wow, this is great. All right,
Bullshit.
I'm back. Oh man.
不是一个天狗。
Oh man, what
So
was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Shit.
yeah, a lot
Um
of shit went. Was it rapid fire, huh? Yeah.
I know, right? Oh, dude, things are moving fast now. Oh my God, I have so many ideas in my head that just came into me. It's unbelievable. Where do I even start? I feel like we're just scratching the surface of everything right now. We're just
By the way,
barely
okay, I
scratching
sent
the
you I
surface.
sent you 2 phrases. You could do this. So 不是一个天狗 means I'm not a licking dog. I'm not a simp. And then you could say 你不是我的菜. You're not my type. Those two. There it is.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bro, dude,
What
I know. I know a lot of women in their 30s and 40s are hitting you up. I know that for a fact. Come on.
a
I
lot of
or
girls in their 20s for
okay,
sure.
okay. Late
Yeah,
20s,
a
early 30s, right?
lot.
Yeah. All right.
Late
Yeah.
20, I mean, even early 20s, late teens, even, that have daddy issues.
Oh, those are the worst. Those are
Oh
the
yeah,
worst.
yeah. I try
I'm
not. I
not.
try
I
to
already
avoid
know.
those.
I know a couple, but I'm not going to mention their names. I already know a couple. I'm not going to mention their names. I'm not.
Dude, it's
We have a
obvious when they.
mutual understanding. I'll put it that way. Yeah.
I mean, like, if you're showing your tits on Hello Talk, in your profile
Yeah.
picture, and you're like 19, I already know what you're all about. I already
Oh,
know.
bro, women are so
I already
slutty now,
know.
dude. Women are so dude. There was like a meme of like 1990 high school girls and then 2025 high school girls. Oh, there's like like 1990s high school girls and then 19 and then current high school girls, bro. Regular dressed, covered up, regular a shirt or a dress or whatever. And in 2025, it's literally bikinis and tits, like cleavage everywhere.
It's
It's like a
unbelievable.
it's
It's
crazy.
unbelievable.
It's
Oh my
like
God. I
like
miss how
who
girls
are
used
your
to dress
parents?
before.
Who the
Ah,
fuck are your parents, man?
dude, I bet you that a lot of dads, these girls, they get a
Are
lot of issues
cucked.
also from,
The dads are cucked,
I
bro.
think,
They're not men.
well,
The
they're
women are
cucks.
running. The
Oh,
women
oh,
are
oh, but
wearing the pants, bro. That's what it is. Just be
even
real.
worse, dude. I could tell you
Yeah.
something even worse. I bet you, like,
Fuck.
either their dad or someone in their family probably SA'd them too. I
Oh, I'm
bet you.
not. I won't be.
Oh
I won't
yeah.
be
Oh
surprised.
yeah.
I won't be.
Oh yeah. And then they just end up like that and they have no idea what they're doing. Not
Oh, that's
nothing at
real.
all.
Oh,
I
damn.
know
Blackmail,
some chicks
baby.
like that. Oh yeah.
Blackmail.
Oh yeah.
Blackmail.
Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah. The
they're cucked.
relationship that, oh, look at perfect example. Perfect example. Lily Phillips, the British chick that banged 100 dudes in
Oh,
one day.
yeah, that's lit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
You mean it, oh, dude, like her brother was filming her doing that. You know that? Like he was the
The mom,
camera guy.
the
Mom
mom was a
pimp.
recruiter. The
The
mom
mom
helped
is a
out too.
pimp. Yeah, the mom's a
Yeah.
hustler and she's a pimp. And then
Mhm.
her husband, which is Lily Phillips' father, he's the
Yep.
guy that basically went on social media and said, "Hey, I'm inviting the guys to come over to my place to watch her OnlyFans live stream." I'm
Wow.
like, dude, her whole family's a part of this whole sex business, dude. Can you imagine what type of shit that she went through as a kid? Can you imagine that? You know
The
what I
world we're
mean?
living in. Look, man. This is the world we're living now, dude. And I think this is planned, dude. To be honest, this is the way. I don't know. Maybe okay. Tinfoil hat time.
Oh yeah. Loyal to the
Like
foil.
this. Yeah, this loyal to the foil. Like this is the way to reduce population.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
That's just how it is. And people justify it. Oh, why have a family? There's too many people in the world. The George
Well,
Soros
yeah,
mindset, the
you'll get
antinatalism stuff. That's yeah.
yeah, government
That's
supporting yeah, let's get the government to support abortion, you know?
that's why there's no outcry. They could justify this behavior. I would just have my fun and YOLO it, if you will. And
Dude,
is that
I'll
still a
never
term?
forget when I was
YOLO?
in
Yeah.
Seattle, dude,
Uh,
being around like the capital city, and being around the campuses, it was like the first time in my life where like I experienced like girls just openly talking about their abortion experience. Like it was just normal. Yeah, and they would brag about it
Shit.
too.
Fuck, that's
Like I had,
crazy.
oh, I banged the dude, and like I didn't like him that much, so I just had like a couple abortions, and I was like,
How much is that shit, anyways? I never looked into
I,
that.
oh my God, I don't even know. I don't want
I
to
don't know.
know.
Luckily, I didn't get the phone call, so luckily I don't know. I don't, not yet, at least.
Yeah,
Uh, I know in China, I heard it's pretty cheap. You know what I'm saying?
this is
Oh,
so
those
wild to me.
socialism shit over there. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's so wild to me, dog. It's so wild to me because
Yeah.
it's like, where are we
Oh,
going with
dude. Oh, bro. Here's the scary part. Okay, check this out. I think I posted it in the shenanigans on Telegram. Oh, bless this woman, dude. God, she's adorable. So she's in her, I think she's in her 60s now. Adorable Chinese lady. She's from Chengdu, China. She grew up during the communist, like Mao communism, like during the Cultural Revolution. My God, bro. She did a presentation on how what is critical race theory and the wokeism type of ideology is similar to the Cultural Revolution. I was like, holy shit. Because she listed detail for detail how Mao's Cultural Revolution, she like broke down like the similarities. Unisex, like sex, like men and women doesn't mean anything. You belong to the state, right? That's the Marxist ideology. And look at what's happened to LGBT2, the LGBTQ plus AAI, whatever the fuck it is, the alphabet people, and they have 99 genders. So there's no clear distinction between men and women anymore. Okay, that was like, oh shit. Okay, the other one is socialism, of course. We want more government. We don't like responsibility. We just let government tell us what to do. Look what's happening. The liberals don't give a fuck about responsibility anymore. They want socialism, which is fucking incredible to me because people don't know history and they're voting for something or they want something that has happened so many times. It's incredible to me that they don't understand this. That ideologies and reality are two different things, right? Again, go back to the whole premise I mentioned earlier about groupthink. And that's why that book, The Crowd by Gustav Le Bon, is so paramount, bro. Because if you really understand that book, you understand what's happening right now within America. I can't speak for the rest of the world, bro. I can't. But America is going down the drain if this continues, bro. It's gonna disappear.
who are we gonna
I,
blame? I wonder who are the people gonna blame if when that happens? Because clearly that's the direction it's
no,
gonna go.
it's the white supremacist.
Of course, of course, of
It's
course, of
Nazi. It's
course it is. Of
Nazism
course
because
it is.
Donald Trump is a Nazi.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why.
oh yeah.
It's
It's
white
not. It's not.
supremacy and the Nazi. Yeah.
It's so amazing. It's so amazing the hoops and bounds that we do as a people to avoid accountability. It's amazing. It's
Okay.
amazing what we do.
But let me explain who this lady is. Dude, I'm gonna if I have a chance, I'm gonna link it to I'll ask Mario to post it once we finish the recording. Dude, this video is so important for you to watch. So her name is Lily Tom Williams. All right, she's running for Congress, dude, in New Hampshire, which is pretty cool. And
Let me guess.
she
She's a
terror
former stripper.
no, no. She used to be.
Okay.
She's a no. This is back in the like 60s in China. It wasn't deranged like America during the time.
Okay.
So she's a normal woman. She's actually like traditional. Thank God. Yeah, she's super Republican. She's a Christian. She's like what I'm saying a good woman, an actual lady. And she has like three sons and daughter. It's really cool. Her story is awesome. Anyways, but she had a great presentation about that communism, Marxism, Cultural Revolution, what's happening with the wokeism and critical race theory. I will, yeah, I'll definitely have Mario link it because that presentation it's like it's part of like I know it's 45 to 50 minutes. It's so important to watch, dude. And yeah, so we have at least we're speaking up about it, and that's why I understand why Nick Fuentes has a big following. Have you been paying attention to Nick Fuentes? He's not on YouTube, of course. Of course, he's banned for other
Yeah,
reasons. I'm
he's
not going to
banned from
mention.
YouTube. Yeah, he's banned from
Well,
YouTube.
there, yeah, from YouTube, there it is. I was going to mention it, but you said it. Yeah, so yeah, and unfortunately now look at this. Look how crazy this is, dude. Because according to Lily Tom Williams, when you speak up against the grain, you're labeled as an outcast. Well, back then they used to kill you, or you were outcasted at the very best scenario. But most likely you'll get killed if you speak up against this. But in America, you're labeled, you're outcasted, right? Isn't that interesting? So that's why Nick Fuentes is known as a Nazi. Trump is a Nazi. Anybody that challenges the group think, the crowd, if you challenge the mob, you will automatically be ostracized. That's one of the symptoms and behaviors of the crowd. To be honest, is you automatically be outcasted because again, it's all about emotional appeal. It's all about ad hominem attacks. You can't have a conversation with the crowd, my friend. You can't have a decent dialogue. It's all ad hominem attacks. You're with us or against us. Are you with this team or not? Or other team? You can apply this to politics. Fucking Democrats, Republicans, fucking Green Potter. Who gives a fuck? All I care about is, can you fucking think for yourself and have critical thinking skills? Most people can't do that. Most people are fucking sheep, my friend. So when people like Nick Fuentes speak about it, he's well, good for him, because now I think he's had, every time he does a show on Rumble, every show is like around 30,000 live viewers. So which is fantastic, dude. 30,000 live viewers. That's like you're competing against like CNN and Fox. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking
Oh yeah.
news. I mean, I don't know. Is that the numbers? I mean, 30K views. That's a lot, dude. So yeah, so good for him. At least he's speaking about it, speaking up about it. People are slowly waking up. That's why I'm getting like, he gives me hope. Myron Gaines is also giving me hope. He understands like this shit is so important. He says so many times he would fucking sell out and make more millions. But he's like, nah, man, this is way too important. He's set for life. He's fine, dude. He's taken care of. You know, he's like investor. You know, he could do this, and that's what it is too. Most people can't even do this. That's why I'm kind of worried about my. I'll be honest, brother. If we continue to do this and we somehow get known, I don't know what, man, because I don't want to fucking ruin my rep. You know, I think Mario and I talked about this because we want to keep our like privacy, man. And that's why well, I'll talk about it off air, what our plan is about to take care of that situation. But I think right now the fact that we're just using our voices, I'm not using my real name, that kind of helps. But you know, people are smart; they'll figure it out who we are. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But at least you and I and many other people are the October 7th incident. If you talk anything about Israel, you're fucked. But
Oh
now
yeah.
a lot of people are talking about. So I think we're all right with that in that sense. But still, people are still going to go after us if this ever gets big. I don't know. We'll see. I really care, dude. The reason why I'm doing this, bro, it'll be cool to get known, but at the same time, like at least I'm doing something. At least we're doing our part, man. You know, talking about it. Because if there's a problem and we're not talking about it, we're not going to solve. We're not going to even attempt to solve the problem. Yeah. So
Dude,
you
I
know,
mean,
advocating.
but it's like, what
You know.
choice do we have? Like, dude, we're backed up
Right.
against a wall. We have nowhere to
Yeah. Yeah.
go.
Yeah. So you might as well be proactive. I don't want to be the dude that was cower and cower and just die. I'm not gonna do. I don't want to be that dude. I
I'm
don't want to
risking
do
it for the
that.
biscuit here because I got nothing to lose at this point. I got nothing to lose. You
Risking the
know what I
biscuit. I
mean?
like that. Risking the biscuit.
Yeah,
That's a good line,
we're risking for the biscuit, but I don't mind because again,
dude. That
there's nothing for me to lose. Literally nothing for
that's
me to lose.
bro. That's so catchy, dude. That'd be a good name. That'd be a slogan. Risking
I
the
don't even
biscuit.
know
That'd
where
be
I
good.
got that from. Yeah.
That'd be a good slogan for the pod, actually, because we're trying to figure out for a name. I don't know, but risking the biscuit. But yeah,
We
dude.
gotta
I
get
mean, at
there.
least be proactive, you know. I
Yeah.
don't want to like lay down. I mean, I don't have family, but at least doing something, bro. I mean, you might as well. If you know what's funny? Like, I came to peace with the peace of mind that maybe I won't have family. I'm fine with that, but I might as well do something, you know. And maybe this could be it. Maybe it could be something
Paul,
else. I mean, have
Paul
some
the
sort of impact.
Apostle. Paul the Apostle never had a family, and he was just like he did great things. During his whole
Yeah,
journey. Through West Asia
sure.
Minor, going from Jerusalem to Damascus to Rome. He had his own great story to tell and change the world. So
Yeah, I do.
we're in a
I
we're in a
really
special time.
understand, dude. I really understand, bro. Like the whole concept of the Bible. When I was a kid, I'm like, what? I don't understand. I really understand now. Like I see the wisdom behind it. It's so profound, dude. I don't want to be like. I mean, I want to fucking say that. I want to be like that. But just understanding, like we're all there's a zeitgeist, and it's not always the same. The zeitgeist changes, and maybe a certain change is dangerous, and people fight back and do something else. And that's where I'm leading up to the whole singularity, transhumanism that is around the corner, my friend. Transhumanism, like people don't even want to be fucking human anymore,
If what we
like
can at
that.
least do is prevent
Yeah,
men from going down a dark path, then we're already doing something. Because, like, I talk about the stuff that I am
uh,
because I'm hoping that other guys would resonate and they don't horrible trap of despair and think that
yeah,
there's, they gotta self-delete themselves or, or become even
Right.
worse, just like a homosexual or something, and just be a fag, and be like, well, I can't score chicks, I'm just gonna
What's
become a
worse?
faggot,
What's worse?
you know?
Wait, what's worse? Killing yourself or being a homosexual?
I think killing yourself is a way better option at that point. That's a way better option.
Yo,
God, man.
well,
God.
at least you're not suffering. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's all over at that point. But still, that's the
Oh,
best option
that's
is just to keep
terrifying. That's
fighting.
terrifying.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
best
dude,
option is
just do
just to
your
keep
part.
fighting.
Dude, do your part, bro. Because again, I could do whatever I want. Look, here's the thing, man. I'm not. I said earlier, I have my own control. I have my job. I have my peace. I think those are the most two valuable things: my health and my peace. Two most valuable things in the world. I have it now, so I'm so grateful that I have it. And I mentioned earlier, I'm not in a situation where I'm fucking slaving away. I'm not in a bad relationship, and then I have to, worry about my kids. And dude. That's terrifying, bro. Man, my heart goes out to men out there that have children, bro, and you're dealing with bullshit. Hey, man,
Oh, even
salute to
worse,
you,
you
my
got a
friends.
daughter? You got a daughter on top of that? Ooh.
Well, yeah, kids in general, bro. Kids in general. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, daughters and stuff. Yeah, dude, like my heart goes out to all you guys, man. I swear. Because and there's a lot of dude. It's really sad, bro. There's a lot of guys out there that are trying to be good fathers, and they're not. They're not respected, man. It's fucking sad, dude.
Well, the odds are
So
stacked
yeah,
against them. They're fighting against so many things. They're fighting against the government,
yeah.
basically. They're fighting against, the culture of their society. They're fighting globalism. They're fighting,
I
other
think
guys trying to go after them,
I think feminism, bro, is like the beginning of communism because it naturally goes to communistic ideals. Maybe pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
who's the new because back then it was like the men, the actual men that were leaders, or strong men, good men, were actually the authority, the leaders of the whole family. Dude, it's becoming so different now. It's changed. Now the authority, the leader is the government. What does that mean? That's an authoritative government. It's communism.
I know that. I think the worst thing,
Right.
though, out of all of this, honestly, in my opinion, will always, always, always be coming down to our culture. That's what it comes down to. Whatever our
correct.
culture is that we value, that's what's going to dictate like how the country's going to be.
But check this
And
out, bro. But check this out. People are trying to, hey, there's cultural problems, and they're crying to the government to fix a cultural problem. No, no. That's leading to a communist Marxist ideology. If you really want to fix culture, let the culture fix itself. I always make the analogy. If you watch an NBA game, for example, two teams have five players on the court, and there's only three referees. But what's happening is we have 15 referees on the court, and the players don't have that much room to freaking play, and they're constantly getting whistles, and they can't play that much anymore. It just blocks everything. You're limited. That's what's happening.
man,
I,
what the
my bad,
fuck?
bro. I'm just trying to paint a picture so you understand what's happening, dude.
I know, but it just,
Yeah.
man, you wake up sometimes and you know this is all happening, but at the same time, you just try to go about your day and make the most out of it.
Oh, I'm
know,
laughing right
there's
now. I'm laughing at it.
there's
I mean, just
so
laugh.
much out of our control, and I think that's like the motivation I have is just like obviously I vent and talk about, but there's something very deep inside me that just wants to push harder, and hopefully, it impacts like a larger amount of people out there, and then they can like, plant their own seeds in other people. Like I'm trying to tell dudes like, even comment every once in a while. Like I see like freaking Pakistani dudes and Indians just like comment girls' profiles, when they post a picture.
Oh, they're the
You
worst,
know?
man.
Oh
They're
baby,
the
baby,
ultimate
I
simps.
love you so much. I love your culture. I'm like, motherfucker, you're
Yeah.
making us look bad, you bitch.
Yeah, for real, dude.
Motherfucker.
Even some
Giving her that
Latinos too.
dopamine.
Even some
Mm-hmm.
Latinos too. I was talking shit in Spanish. That's still got brought. This is why I got banned. Hell,
Oh, that's
so
how you
much.
know it's getting bad when they start doing it.
No, dude, I got reported so many times commenting on simps on the Hello Talk moments. I was just
Mm-hmm.
fucking talking shit to these. I'm like, dude, stop simping, you fucking idiot. And this is a
Calling them
short little
out.
fucking short Peruvian little fucker. No, you're wrong. Oh, I can tell you sound like a little midget when you speak. You
Oh, white
fucking
knight.
faggot.
White knight. It's a white knight.
Bunch of white knights, exactly. Oh god, it's so disgusting, bro. And I've been commenting so much, and then I got reported. I got like fucking I have a 7. I think that's where I got the 3-day, no, the week ban right before my last ban. I think the
Well,
last
these are the
final.
same guys that would say like, "Oh, let me check with my
Yeah.
wife's boyfriend." They're one of those dudes.
Wait, I think was it you or was it Ray? He put dude, it was I don't know if this meme is true, but oh Lord help me, I hope it's not true. There there was one meme it shows this balding dude. I mean, he's not that attractive guy, and he has his wife, and he goes, My wife's boyfriend gave me a surprise today, and it shows him opening up a new fucking Nintendo Switch. They had biggest, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, and the guy
My
had like a
girl
grin on his face, huh? Oh
yeah, my
man.
girlfriend's boyfriend, right?
Oh
And then later,
god.
and it was for Christmas, right? These kids don't even look like his kids. They're like it's like mixed, like half white, half black mulatto kids.
Oh
And
yeah.
I told Ray, bro, I hope this meme is not true. That's fucking horrible. I don't know. It looks true to me, dude. I was like, look at, because it was like I forgot what platform it was under, because it shows us his pictures. It kept in a Facebook post, and it says, yeah, look at what my wife's boyfriend surprised me with a big smile. It's like, really? I hope that's fake.
Nah,
I hope
dude,
that's
like
fake, dude.
I mean,
Fuck.
girl, guys. I mean, they need to remove the attention from these
Uh,
chicks. They have to, and so many of our problems would be solved if we just did that. For
Yeah,
God's
that's not
sake,
gonna
it would.
happen. I
Oh
mean,
my
man,
God, it would solve
if
so
all
much.
men, bro, boycott works, if men just stop using social media, that will help.
Oh my
If they
God,
stop
that'll never happen.
if they stop using it for like a couple months, man, I wish we could do that experiment where we could just do like, dude. Okay, back in the 2010s, remember there was what happened to these fuckers, man? Anonymous. Remember those dudes? They used to like do blackouts on websites.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anonymous. Remember?
Yep,
You remember
yep, yep.
them? If we could do that for social media, just black out social media and just guys just stop fucking using it for like like a year, I hope. Imagine what would happen. Yeah.
Oh man, Instagram, dude, Instagram would
Yeah,
go
a lot of
through
people
a.
go out of business. Yeah.
Girls would go through a. Instagram models would go through like a identity
Yeah.
crisis.
Oh, dude, speaking about dude, check this out.
Yeah.
I think Myron Gaines did a great like monologue about this, and he's so right. It's fucking crazy, dude. So you know about Britney Spears, right?
Of course.
Okay, you know she lost her fucking mind now, like she's fucking Looney Tunes and shit.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because now she's old, nobody's giving her attention anymore, and she's losing her fucking mind because of this. It's kind of like a fucking heroin addict having withdrawals. I guarantee you it's similar type of behavior. Bro, how many Instagram models are there today?
Dude, there's so many of them. I have no idea.
They're gonna
Wait, you
have
want?
they're gonna have the Britney Spears syndrome when they get to her age. It's not gonna be pretty, bro.
Not everything lasts forever, right? Not everything lasts forever.
Bro, it's
So,
not gonna
it,
like 25% of women right now are under SRIs, mental fucking problems. It's not gonna get better, bro.
it's even better taking antidepressants too. On top of that.
All that shit, bro. It's
25% of
getting
them, right? 25% or
yeah.
some shit taking
One in
antidepressants.
four American women mental health problems. It's not gonna get better, bro. It's gonna get great, dude. Next fit, dude. Lord help me, dude. I hope
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
fucking wrong.
sorry, I cheated on you. I have bipolar disorder.
Yeah, whatever bullshit excuse. Fucking Taurus. Oh, I'm a fucking Taurus. I'm a Gemini. That's why.
Oh, that's
Like
just yeah,
people,
that's just
people
like
don't have,
Taurus.
bro.
Yeah. Oh,
People
I'm a
don't have
Scorpio.
accountability. Hey, how about a fucking new hashtag? How about a new hashtag? Toxic accountability. That's real. Toxic accountability is fucking real, bro. I should have a fucking t-shirt.
Toxic
I should make it.
accountability. I like that.
That's real because people don't have accountability and responsibility, bro. That's what it is. It's fucking mental health bullshit. I
I'm
wish I
just
had.
so angry.
I
I'm
wish
so
I had.
angry.
I wish
I'm
I
s-
had Gustav. I wish I had Kobe because Kobe had a great rule on Hello Talk saying, "Is psychology be taken seriously? Is it even a tangible science?" Bro, that was a great question because I think we're freaking using it way too much for everything. You can put that with sociology as well.
a lot
These
of
are
it is like hypothetical stuff, right? I mean, a lot of it is just hypothetical.
well, it's a soft science. My freaking psychology professor. I remember I tried to take it for because in college, university, they force you to take pointless fucking courses not related to your major, right? So I had to take an elective, and I picked psychology. The first day of class, the professor says, "Hey, by the way, so you know, psychology is not a hard science; it's a soft science." At the time, I'm like, okay, whatever. But now I'm like, looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, she is right. It's not tangible compared to like physics or chemistry. You can actually measure shit. It's more predictable. It's more controlled. You can do better controlled studies. Studying behavior, it's so nuanced. Sociology, same type of shit. These are both soft sciences, but we're putting way too much weight on these fucking bullshit studies. Bro, that book, I think I mentioned the other episode, How Not to Be a Millennial. That I recommend that book. How Not to Be a Millennial. I was like, yes, bro. I forgot the author's name, but god damn it, he's saying the same shit a lot of men are deep down are thinking. He's like we have the millennials and Gen Zs are like the worst experiments ever done to humanity. For hundreds and thousands of years, humans have existed without these ridiculous ass studies, bro. It was so simple. But now, apparently, the past 100 years, we happen to know a lot of shit. And look what's happening to us. Really? Is it really beneficial what we're talking about? This critical race theory thing, or making excuses that I'm bipolar or my environment. I'm the product of my environment. Like, bitch,
Yeah.
that means you don't have responsibility and accountability for your fucking actions. That's what it is. All that shit again, I'm translating the bullshit into layman's terms. All this shit about all this psychology bullshit. Dude, shut the fuck up. Accept that you fucked up. Everybody has problems, and guess what? We can figure it out and fix it. You just have to you have to look yourself in the fucking mirror and have a heart to heart talk with yourself that people are afraid to fucking do, man. I shit you fucking not. People are scared to look themselves in the mirror and be honest with themselves. Majority of people, I can't speak for all, well, I can say, I don't know, majority, but a shit ton of people are lying to themselves.
I agree with that. A lot of people are. And I think the reason why is because well, I mean, let's be honest, it's scary to confront yourself. If you know you clearly have like an issue, like well, why would you want to? I mean, it's what I said before, right? It's the
Well, that's
path
how
of
you
least
improve.
resistance.
Well, that's
Yeah.
how you improve,
Yeah.
though. That's a quick
But
way
we're
to
so
improve. Because, bro,
comfortable.
nobody's gonna change you. Nobody. It's you, motherfucker. You have to change yourself. It's up to you to change. Change is so hard. It is. But it's a bit easier when you're honest with yourself and look yourself in the mirror and fucking say, hey, I got the willpower to change.
Yeah.
There's that book. Where's that book called? Atomic Habits. That's a great book. At least it gives you a little guide and it changes your mindset. Yes, it's hard to change, but if you work at it a little bit at a time. I think it's 1% a day. Just focus on the goal. Give yourself tangible goals, man. Be honest with yourself. Make rules, dude. Hey, make rules for yourself. Like that fucking concept is foreign to a lot of people.
It is
Giving
because
yourself some
you're basically insinuating that you need discipline in order for you to basically
you
have
have to.
control, right? Well, but
Yeah,
it's obvious. It's obvious.
welcome to being an adult. Welcome to being an adult. And I fucking shit you not, bro. 20-year-olds today are like fucking teenagers. I'll be straight up.
Dude, that's so
20-year-olds
true.
are fucking teenagers. Bro, 30-year-old women are sounding like 20-year-old college chicks. What the fuck? They're speaking like they're 20 years old. How fucking cringe is that? When I hear a 30-year-old woman speaking like a 20-year-old, I'm not going to take this woman seriously, bro.
Oh yeah, and they're talking about like 90 Day Fiance, and they're drinking box wine,
What the
and they're
fuck,
talking about their
dude?
exes.
But the
Yeah,
way they
their
speak,
ex-boyfriends.
oh yeah, I want like the bitch. You're not a girl. You're a fucking grown ass woman. Well, guess what? If you get the ick as a man being weird, oh, so be it. All right, but I can't have the ick the way you fucking behave, you dumb bitch. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I can't have my standards. Oh, by the way, when I say I have standards, oh, I'm a misogynist now because
You're
I have
sexist.
standards. Oh, I'm
Yeah, you're a
sexist or
sexist.
whatever ad hominems you hear. Another
Dude,
bullshit fucking
I
childlike
remember that
mentality.
when Nick recently he made a post in Hello Talk, and he was like,
Right.
"Bro, I'm so disgusted by the amount of single moms in the States." He put like a throwing up emoji, whatever, and he simply just stated a fact. He was just like the number of single moms that's in the dating market are just so
Oh
it's like so
God.
disgusting. And dude, there was a bunch of Russian chicks that saw it and started replying like, "Why is it disgusting?" And another girl was like, "Oh wow, we have a sexist here. So who made all those women pregnant then? Huh? Who was it?" I'm like, "Yo, come on.
Hashtag
Let's not project. Let's not project. Women
hashtag
are the
toxic
gatekeepers."
no, that's hashtag toxic accountability.
I
Bam.
hate
That's
how
that's it. That's it.
even other countries like my freaking people, like my
Yeah.
people, Russian people, they're getting infected by this shit.
Oh,
You
that's so
know?
sad to hear,
So
bro.
I like,
That's sad
dude,
to
I'm
hear.
like getting to a point where, dude, I don't want to date a Russian chick because I know how they are now. I've met a lot of them here, where I'm at here in Bishkek.
Materialistic.
Oh, dude, they're
Yeah.
material. I didn't realize how bad it was until I got here. I'm
You
gonna
know
be
what's fucked
honest.
up?
I didn't
You know what's
realize
fucked
it.
up?
I didn't realize it.
You know what's fucked up? Russian women and Colombian women are like one of the most materialistic women in the world now, which
Oh,
is
hell yeah.
crazy. Which is crazy. Yeah, it wasn't like that not that long ago. You know the whole Russian mail order bride.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? That's it. That doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, well, I don't know if it does, but it's not as sought out like it was back then. Back then, I was like, what? I didn't. I was younger. I'm like, what is that about? It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But it makes sense though. It makes sense because back then the women were actually ladies and they're actually, traditional women. So again, bro, like this is the time we're living in. We're explaining what's I think we're talking about what's really happening in real time, and people and men especially have to understand this because men have to wake up because this is dangerous, bro. And again,
Oh, give me a sec.
yeah, sure.
I'm gonna answer this quick call. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I just had to. Well, I forgot what I was
So
talking about. But yeah,
yeah,
the
I
whole
was thinking
single
about
mom
understand.
thing.
Oh, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, that was a funny thing. Realizing the reaction of women from other countries and understanding how they're not that different from American women at this point. They're not that different. A lot of them. They're not that
Same
different, bro.
similar behaviors, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean,
Look, man, like growing up
Tower
too, I
Babel
was
story, anyone? Tower Babel story?
yeah,
Oh my God.
that's what's happening. The whole globalization.
Yeah.
It's very, it makes sense now. Again, as I mentioned earlier, like what as a kid, I'm like, what do these stories mean? How does this connect with what's happening? Oh,
I
now
didn't
it does.
understand Tower Babel. I did not understand Tower Babel.
Yeah, like what was the point
But
behind it? Right now, it makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
the whole idea is that the human race was all just like one giant conglomerate, and then
right.
they decided to build like a giant tower that was going to reach to the gods. And God
Yeah,
saw that as
yeah.
like, a grave debauchery, right? And it was severe enough. That was so severe to the point that he decided to punish all the nations and just separate all of them in different parts. You're going to go over there, you go over there. You guys are not going to have contact with each other whatsoever. So at least if one of you guys are corrupt, you're not going to spread all over.
Dude.
Yeah,
I
man.
think I think humanity has been around. It's like a paradox, right? And I go by Thomas Sowell when he says life. There's no 100% solutions. There's trade offs. The paradox is we advance so much and so quickly that it's becoming unstable. When it comes to like having a good life as a human being. And dude, the whole transhumanism shit. I don't know when that's going to happen. Maybe it's not going to happen in my lifetime, but it's coming. I think, and again, I mentioned earlier, I think we're going to get to a point where society might decide that you know what, we'd rather not be human anymore because we have limitations.
Yeah.
What does that sound like? Book of Revelation, the end times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. Okay, I remember the Book of Revelations. It made sense to me when I was a kid because I remember I told my mother, "Do you think it's the machines and computers?" And she was like, "Maybe, maybe."
Oh, that maybe
Because I was
the
I was like
foreshadow.
I was because her eyes got big and shit. I was like, and she thought about it. I'm like, yeah, maybe you're right. Because I was like 7 or 8 at the time. This is back in
Well, one of the biggest
this
turning
is like
points of
90s.
human civilization in terms of like us communicate with each other was the printing press. Because now you have a
Right.
way to just like mass produce all like, the books of the world, all this information, now you can just
Knowledge.
spread it around. You have the
Right.
Gutenberg Bible, was
Yeah.
able to spread around amongst all places and
Right.
just whatever that was important documentation that was just now going to be accessible to just basically everybody because before it was just like you had scribes and like your means of like having access to certain knowledge was just so limited. But now it's like, dude, can you imagine how crazy it is that you can send a message to a person just, halfway across the world, and they can be influenced by like, the things that you say to them. If you tell them, whatever it is, right, that you grew up with, right, the culture that you came from, and you transport that somewhere else halfway across the world, and you didn't have to even go there. You didn't have to take a ship. You didn't have to take a plane. You just sent them a message on the internet, and boom, you might have just impacted them in some type of way. For all I know, like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Back then,
it's just nuts.
back then it was the conquistadors that physically went there, but now we're conquering ideas.
Yeah, yeah,
Fuck.
exactly. Oh yeah.
Fuck. Look, man, we could do, and again, if you look at it at a objectively as possible, because we're all biased and we're all subjective, but we're trying to be objective as possible, right? I could definitely see a good reason to not become human anymore. It's not no for real. I mean, there's people, dude. There's people already. There's people out right now. They're all about transhumanism. There's a lot of people that are already talking about it now. And I get what they're coming from, dude. Because I mean, look at the positives. You could live longer. You could travel through space because you're not really a human anymore. You're like a robot. You're a machine. So I mean, you could spread quote unquote consciousness. That's a good or bad thing. Who the fuck knows? But that is a possibility. I'm reading. There's a book called Life 3.0 by Max Tegmark. I just started reading it, and also there's a book called by Noble Harari, Homo Deus. I think I haven't read this book, but I heard the premise where they talk about transhumanism or the singularity. The Bible kind of adheres to it, again, revolutions. And I told you before, the Aztecs were probably kind of fucking right. People misunderstand the Aztec prediction in 2012. It wasn't the end of the world. It was the end of an age. 2012. And I think they're pretty damn accurate because that's in 2012. That's when everybody started being globalized. Like ideas were connected. Facebook, Instagram.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
so
even the internet
kind
back
of
then,
right.
2000s. Yeah. Well, even internet during 2000s, it was kind of primitive, right? I mean, you had
people don't take it seriously. People didn't.
You
take
had
it seriously.
forums and stuff. I mean, you had 4chan.
Only a small percentage of people use group chats or whatever, bro.
It hasn't reached like third world countries. It hasn't reached like so many places.
Very few people had access. Very few people had.
Yeah.
Dude, in 1999, bro, me and my brothers were the only motherfuckers in our school that were using Napster and making music CDs and selling them in school. Like nobody had a CD burner.
Yeah,
but we did because I was very lucky because my cousin, he was into computers, an older cousin, and he showed us how to build computers. That was fucking awesome. Better school than any fucking school I went to. My cousin taught me a skill. Mario can relate. He in the other episode we talked about how when he was like an adolescent, he was 12 or 11, he was fixing everybody's computers. Like nobody had this skill, right? So very few people were actually connected, right? So yeah, the Aztecs are pretty damn accurate when it comes to the whole Tower of Babel shit. Like, yeah, I remember I told you about that. I remember when I told you that. I remember when I told you that story in the Hello Talk. I'm like, one day, when this came to me, I was thinking this shit. Because when you're taking this shit, that's when you think a lot, right?
Oh, absolutely. Taking a shower.
That thought came through my mind. I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh shit. I didn't really think about that. I think they were fucking right, bro. So yeah, don't shit on the Aztecs prediction. They were pretty accurate. End of an age. Yeah, because we talked about it already.
Yeah.
We talked about how women are mate selecting has changed, dude. That's a new zeitgeist. That's a whole different paradigm, sir. That's for real. So I mean, if you look at it that way, the whole SJW movement started in 2012. The whole identity politics, the degradation of debauchery of culture. You know what I'm saying? Like we really changed, man. Like our values changed. Like the basic idea of just having a family changed during that time. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's big paradigm shift, man. So I don't know. Maybe this could be tinfoily, but fuck it. I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense. I mean, if you think about it in an abstract way. I mean, is it really abstract? I feel like a fucking meteorologist describing the weather pattern.
Oh, you would. I was listening to Randall Carlson talking about Younger Dryas period, like 12 to 13,000 years ago. Just all this compelling stuff about like all of like these what do you call them, megafauna being wiped out simultaneously in a cataclysmic event, and talking about Atlantis, whereas like the real location of Atlantis, what if we were just so much more advanced than we ever thought, but we are
Yeah.
just the survivors
Oh
of
shit.
those
Oh, we're
who were
going to
left
the
over?
We're going to the Graham
Yeah,
Hancock realm. Here we go, baby.
exactly, exactly,
Woo.
exactly. What if we're gonna go through that again? What if we go through that
Yeah,
again? And
my
then,
friend.
yeah,
Wait,
yeah, all of our shit's
my
gonna
friend.
get lost.
Oh, check it out, bro. There's a fiction book series I read. It's called The Wheel of Time. And the whole premise of the whole universe behind it, or the world building behind it, Robert Jordan, the whole concept of this book series is time repeats itself in cycles. Yeah. And it's so sick, bro. Because in the series is there's the first age, the second age, and the third age. I think the story itself takes place in the fourth age. And every
Mhm.
age, it repeats. The cycle repeats. The series is called The Wheel of Time. And it has like reincarnation elements into it. It's a fascinating freaking story, bro. It's 14 books, super long. Amazon tried to make a show out of it, right? Failed miserably because the DEI and the woke virus took over that show, and I think they canceled it. They tried to make after the third season, they canceled the show. I'm like, yay, fucking celebrated. But anyways, yeah. So I think what you're saying with the whole Graham Hancock and was it Russell what? What was the other guy's name?
Randall Carlson.
Randall Carlson. These, yeah, like they're on. Maybe they're onto something, man. Maybe again, prehistory is a mystery. It rhymes. Prehistory is a mystery, but yeah, who knows what happened back then? And Graham Hancock has this show. I think Mario mentioned it to me. It's called the Ancient Apocalypse. Wow, great show, dude. He found ancient civilizations like 11,000 years ago. I remember there's one episode. I don't know if it was in that show or it was just on another show on YouTube for Graham Hancock. They found like this ancient structures like deep underwater near Japan. I forgot how old. It's super old. I forgot the exact date, but it was amazing, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And you mentioned back another conversation. There was like this ancient astrolabe that they found, an astrolabe,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, dude. Who knows how advanced? I mean, the whole thing about the Sphinx and the pyramids is a mystery how it was built.
Oh, yeah.
Like all of these
Egyptians inheriting
techniques.
it. Yeah, they didn't
Yeah,
really create the pyramids, they
even
inherited it.
even in South America, there was like these structures built that there was no explanation on how exactly they did it. There was I forgot that was an apocalypse, ancient apocalypse. I forgot the name. It was like somewhere in South America. I forgot maybe it's in Peru, maybe not. And but there was like this wall that was built and these humongous pieces of stone that weighs like thousands of tons. They were cut perfectly and they were how like bricklayers, it's all like super cut. It wasn't that like streamlined. But dude, these blocks are like 10,000, like thousands of tons, and they fit seamlessly. And the wall was flat and smooth, and it was a giant wall. I forgot the name of this wall. It's in that show, Ancient Apocalypse. There's no explanation in how they did it. Like zero. Like how the hell were they able to like move these humongous
Oh, for
stones?
sure, there is some lost technology we got no damn clue about. For sure, we have no
That's what
damn
I'm
clue.
saying,
We have
bro. That's
no
what we're
damn clue how they
I
did
mean,
it.
have you ever seen like post-apocalyptic movies and shows of ancient cities? And people are gonna be like, how do they build these tall structures? That's the same shit. Like we like in the future, you know what I'm saying? That they say there's like a big dystopia, nuclear war might happen, whatever, and maybe there's like few people that survive and people don't know or forgot how these skyscrapers are built or cities are built. And you see like the skeletons of it or the demolished buildings. That's the only thing that was left. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it could have been but and here's the thing: the geologists and archaeologists say, well, in the sediments, in the layers of rock, there's no evidence of actual like material that shows that there was advanced technology, right?
Oh, but look
You
at
know,
look at the crazy stuff even when we had thousands of years ago with like the whole. Well, we
yeah,
dated this one thing back. It was like the astrograph. What is it called? The Greek. They found it off like
the astrolabe,
The
the
Mykonos
astro,
Islands. It was like
astrolabe,
this computer. It was like a
yeah,
freaking computer that they found off like some shipwreck. in like
It
the
was a
Greek
super
island.
advanced. It was like a nautical
Was it
device, right?
23 or 2500 years ago that they dated this back to? But
It
I
was
mean,
a
I
super
don't
advanced
know.
astrolabe. It was a super advanced astrolabe or some shit. Like there were nautical
Yeah, yeah,
purposes,
yeah.
right?
It was meant for like, I guess it was meant for
Fuck.
like navigation and stuff like
That's
that, but it had
crazy. Bro, that's
moving parts.
crazy. That's
Yeah. Yeah,
amazing.
dude.
It's pretty cool, man. And it was intricately designed. Intricately designed. Like they had to have some sort of like machinery to even build that shit. You know what I mean? Like like they can't do it all by basic tools, man. I don't know.
So,
It's all a
come
mystery.
to think of it, maybe
Right.
Randall Carlson might be right. There could be a possibility that the human civilization's way older than we'll ever even think, and we have no idea.
Maybe hear me out. This might trip you out. Maybe the burning of the Library of Alexandria was necessary.
I
Nah,
thought of that too. I didn't think. Okay, so I wasn't thinking like the burning was necessary, right? I was thinking in my head like, how does this
I'm being silly.
connect though? Because like, what if
Yeah.
like, yeah, well,
No,
what
a
if
lot of shit
that
was
thing
lost.
was, what
A
if
lot.
that thing was created because of the information that they had in that library was still what remained from the people that survived that great cataclysmic event thousands of years ago?
Knows,
Thousands
man.
upon thousands of years ago, and then it got burned down, and it's like we have no recollection. I'm not sure what the
Oh
time lapse
God,
is.
it's so
When
painful.
did that even happen?
I just it has like a pain in my heart that library was burnt down. But at the same time, maybe it was necessary. Maybe they were smart. I don't know, bro.
Okay, so this was Library of
Shit.
Alexandria is believed to have suffered multiple fires and destructions with no single
Right.
definitive date for its demise. The most
Yeah, it's a
significant
mystery.
event concluded a fire during Julius Caesar's siege in 48 BC, a fire instigated by Theophilus, Patriarch of Alexandria, and then in 391 CE, and potential destruction during the Muslim conquest in 642 CE. While the exact extent of the damage is debated, these events are considered major factors in the library's decline. 48 BC was from a fire, possibly started by Julius Caesar's troops. Damaged ships in the harbor and potentially spread to parts of the library. Oh shit, that's how that happened. And then 391 AD, which is Theophilus, is believed to have ordered the destruction of Serapeum, a temple complex that also housed the library, as part of a campaign to eradicate pagan worship. Okay, that's interesting. But I'm guessing that the first one was the one that did the most damage. I'm not sure. But that computer thing, was created around 2,500 years ago. That we do know. Apparently, we dated that back.
That's
This is
amazing.
500 years before that library was burned down.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Damn, dude. This is the type of stuff I like right here. Like the man, what dude, this is where I wish I had a freaking time machine. This is why I would use it. Fuck. Before, you know how
What
people
do you
ask those hypothetical questions, what would you do if you had a time machine? I would go back during that time.
What do you think you would see if you went back to the time when they were building the pyramids? What do you think you would see?
I have no idea, bro. I'm probably gonna see some shit where I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. That's for sure. I'll probably shit my pants. I'm like, oh my fucking god, you know what I'm saying? You
There
know?
was, I mean,
Hey,
Randall
who knows?
Carlson.
Well, didn't you say there was giants and super megafauna back then? Maybe they used
Yeah,
that. Who the fuck knows, man?
yeah. Well,
The megafauna
Randall
must have been
Carlson,
around, right?
Randall Carlson and Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock were both advocates of the fact that what possibly could have been used, that according to hieroglyphics, showed that it's possible that there was knowledge that we didn't have before of sound patterns and specifically vibrations. I think that they've done some testings before, and they saw, or at least allegedly, it's noted that through vibration you're able to manipulate matter of some sort much easier to
Oh,
manipulate.
what?
Yeah, really fucking crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, they've done
shit.
some laboratory
Bro,
experiments in South
oh
Asia, I
my
think, or
god.
something like that.
Oh, wow.
Malaysia or something. Randall Carlson was talking about they were doing like some like studies and like how to use like sound vibrations to manipulate matter. I'm not sure, but that could
Oh,
have been how
dude,
they did it.
bro, check this out. And maybe you're right about you're on something because think about it. Think about modern science of today. Who's known as the founding father of science of current times?
Oh, modern times?
Like who's the founding father of what we know of what science is today?
It would be like the Greeks, right? More or less, right?
Isaac Newton.
Like
Well, yeah,
some,
Isaac Newton was a revolutionary. It was Isaac Newton and Einstein, right?
yeah,
That really pushed what was called classical mechanics, or it was actually
yeah.
natural philosophy. I think it was termed
Isaac
natural
Newton.
philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You think Isaac Newton and Einstein were the only geniuses back in the,
No, no,
dude,
no, 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 no. I don't
imagine
know.
imagine the Einstein level or Newton level of mind back to 10, 20,000 years ago.
Okay, so
You know what I'm saying? They probably
yeah,
discovered
yeah, yeah,
something
yeah,
in a
yeah.
different, bro. What the
We
fuck?
the proposition is that we just went through, if a cataclysmic event did happen and we were so much older than anticipated,
Right.
before that happened, we were very advanced and we went through a completely different technology tree than what we have right now. Like we're
Bam.
advanced in certain things, right? But they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
probably advanced in other things that we have no
Wait,
idea about.
wait a minute. You said, wait a minute. I never heard this term. It makes sense. Different technology tree. Wow.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So say for
Holy
example,
shit.
like I mean, right now we're very big on like rocketry, right? So we're big on
Right.
rocketry, like physics and like movement mechanics in terms of like using propulsion technology, right? But it could have been that before, back in the past, before like everything was wiped out, and then we returned to becoming hunter gatherers again, basically because it was
Right.
an apocalyptic event.
Yeah.
And so before that, it could have been like they were advanced in other things, like maybe manipulation of matter or gravity. They were able to manipulate gravitational force. I have no idea. I have no
Well, because
idea.
as I mentioned earlier, I think we had this conversation. What science? Well, who knows? Maybe the dates change, but right now the estimate that humans been around for at least 200,000 years. Homo sapiens sapien, 200,000 years, right?
Hmm.
And known history is what, 5, 6,000 years?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What the fuck?
That's recorded though. That's what we
Uh,
know.
that,
That's what we
bro. So
know.
what is 5,000 divided by 200,000?
It's nothing. Like that number
What
is
percentage is
nothing,
that?
man.
So you're telling me all that time it took us to figure shit out? I don't think so, man.
Damn it. Like, dude, we never I wish that we were pushed in school to like think this type of way. Like we don't push the
Bro,
boundaries, it
because dude,
seems
look,
like.
look how quick, bro. Look how quick from the Neolithic era to today. That's roughly 5,000 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
200,
Yeah.
bro. How many 5,000 years epochs are in 200,000 years?
Dude.
What the fuck? Just break it down that way,
The possibility of just like even like fathoming this is like I don't know, dude.
bro. Bro.
I don't
Now I
even
under
think that
now I under bro.
oh
Now I
shit.
understand why Jordan. That's why I understand. Robert Jordan wrote that book, Wheel of Time. Maybe that's where he was thinking too back then. Oh shit, there probably must have been a shit ton of epochs that we will never know what was back then. Oh, by the way, in that story, the main protagonist is a reincarnation of a legend hero from 3,000 years ago. Oh my god, that story is so fucking sick.
Oh,
Now
so
when I
he's
think
just living
about
in
this,
cycles.
yeah, bro. Yeah. That dude. God damn, that story's so sick now. You're just thinking of like putting that together. Now I understand why Robert Jordan wrote the fucking book, bro. I shit you not, he was thinking about this. Bless his heart. Rest in peace, Robert Jordan. He died already.
Oh,
But
rip,
dude,
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, that's fucking sick. Now I really enjoy it. Now I really appreciate that story now more because I didn't even think of it that way. Just right now, bro. Just thinking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
like
So many thousands
holy
of years of human history, just like we don't have any record of it. We don't have any record.
yeah, brother.
And like the
Prehistory.
advancement that we've had since the Industrial Revolution is incredible, man. It's really incredible. Like how much we advanced since the Industrial Age.
Oh,
Like, dude, we
and
went
that's
from like, dude,
God.
horse carriages, bro.
Oh
Like,
my
how long we were
God.
on horse carriages from, and then just blew up, and then we started to discover like, how to create cars and use them, and look where we are now. We got like
Oh,
airplanes. We can go to
oh,
space.
dude.
Like, dude, it's unbelievable what we were able to even accomplish in just 100 years.
All right, bro. Hear me out. Look, you can
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
this.
dude.
Look at this. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the story. Let me explain. Like when you read the beginning of the story of this fucking series, 14 book series, just read the first prologue. Oh, now it makes perfect sense why he wrote it this way and why the okay. So according to the story, right, the main protagonist, by the way, his name is Lews Therin. Okay, he was like the known as the dragon, the dragon. He had all this. By the way, it's magic. It's like magic power. It's fucking sick. It's women. There's women and male half of this magic power. They call it like the source. And anyways, this guy Lews Therin was like the most powerful wielder of this source of magic, whatever you call it. They call it the source. He went mad crazy, right? Because again, it's like light versus dark, and it's like the main antagonist is like the fight against evil, the dark side of humanity, the yin and yang. Again, there's a lot of Eastern philosophy in this story. Anyways, so the main so the enemy is the dark side, or infected this magic power that turned all men that could wield this source of magic mad. They went apeshit crazy. It got so bad that Lews Therin lost his mind and killed his family, everybody.
Well, is this like Lord of the Rings or some shit? Or
Well, yeah, well, hear me out. He finds his senses like in the beginning of the prologue, the prologue of the whole fucking story. It says it creates a scene where he's like in this big ass house and he finds his wife dead, his children all dead, right? And he goes, "What have I done? I'm losing my mind." And he came to a realization that what he did, and then he fucking destroyed the world. He destroyed the world. It's called the breaking of the world. And
yeah,
apparently during his time, it was super advanced type of civilization. And he pretty much changed the world to the very beginning, the end of the age. He called it the breaking of the world. He was so powerful that it says he moved the mountains and oceans. He fucking destroyed everything. Holy fuck. So
yeah.
according to Graham Hancock and these the people that are challenging archaeologists, there were so many bombardments of asteroids and natural disasters that happened so many times and different ways or forms of destruction. We will never know. Like the world has changed so much in every epoch. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh my god, dude, because like the reconfiguration of the oceans, the earth, all that shit, mountains forming, it's all different now. God
Tim
damn it, that story
Alberino
is
was
so. God
Tim
damn, that story's
Alberino
so
was
sick.
backing this harder
Oh
too.
god,
I told you
was
about
he?
Tim Alberino, and then that guy
Yeah.
was is a big fan of like Randall
Oh my
Carlson
god.
and Graham Hancock and
Oh,
stuff, and he's like the guy that goes around like Peru, like Indiana Jones, and
dude.
investigates like alien skeletons and shit like that. You know what I mean? And there is a
Goodness.
story that's commonly found
Yeah.
amongst like these flood stories. It's like another thing that gets missed out is that as soon
Yeah.
as like this cataclysmic event
Yeah.
took place, right? It's like
Yeah, dude.
like many stories talk about the gods went up to the heavens and fled in fear. It does
Oh,
talk.
look at
It's
that.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah. The
Wow.
gods fled in fear,
Well, dude, what
and
about hey, do you know about the Yellowstone thing? People were saying what happens if that Yellowstone will explode and it can just destroy the world or some shit?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely will wipe out that that's a continent destroyer for sure. That would be a continent destroyer.
Shit like that, bro. Shit like
Yeah, and then we're
you know
just
what I
gone.
mean?
We're gone
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that.
yeah.
After that, we're just gone.
People don't really understand how dangerous the fucking universe is, bro. It's constantly trying to kill us. I'm quoting Neil deGrasse Tyson, by the way. There's
Flying dinosaurs, nuclear
fucking ion
weapons,
radiation, fucking
volcanoes.
bro. Dude? I went to I love planetariums, man. The last time I went to a
Oh, they're so
planetarium,
sick.
yeah, dude, and they had like this one because each time I go to a planetarium, they have like it's kind of like a different type of show, and this type of show, it talked about so many bodies out like rocks of bodies, asteroids, meteors, in our solar system, bro. There's thousands and thousands, maybe millions of these free flying objects. Like it's very difficult to account for every single piece, bro. The world could easily get fucked up so many times. Look at the moon's craters. Look at all the like how many like cataclysms as you mentioned could happen. It could happen at any time. And I don't know. In the planetarium, they try to make appease us. Oh no, we're tracking everything. We'll be fine. I don't know, man. Really? Are we really going to stop it? I mean,
Remember there
I
was an
know that.
asteroid that
Yeah.
hit Siberia. It was back in 2013 or 2014. Remember a giant asteroid? I think it was 2013. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I
You
remember
remember
hearing
that?
something. I forgot the details, but I remember
Oh,
hearing something
I'll
about that.
never
Yeah.
forget that. I'll never forget that. And that
Yeah.
video was wild because it was some guy just recording his
Yeah.
like video camera or his
Uh-huh.
cell phone, and then it's just this giant freaking
It was
asteroid
super.
just like
How
flying
big was
through.
it? was it big like what size? It wasn't. You know the movies like Armageddon and shit. Well, actually, there's the actual asteroid coming our way, but it's like a small percent, like 3% chance that actually impact us. Well, according to scientists, it's called Prometheus, I think. Oh no, sorry, it's not called Prometheus. It's called Apophis. This asteroid, yeah, has a 3% chance of hitting. But the other guest Tyson talked about it. But he goes, if it does, it will land in the Pacific Ocean and it will wipe out the entire Earth. Because this asteroid
Ooh.
it's the size of Texas.
That would be a good that would be a good way to like wake up in the morning, right?
Yeah, it's a huge. It's like the size of a fucking state. It's huge. Yeah, and Apophis means the god of death, I believe. Yeah,
For
but it's three
how
percent
old
chance.
that Earth for how old the Earth is, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
happened
4
before.
billion years. Oh, it happened so many times, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
What I so love about I like about Cosmos and the show. I mean, you can believe whatever you want, bro. But I think I'm like a Catholic, right? Catholics believe in evolution. I mean, take that as you will. Some people, some religions think that the Earth is really young. I think it's 4 billion years old. And the way that Earth has formed, it was such a violent, roiling, boiling freaking planet. It's so different than it is today. So yeah, dude. I think I take a tidbit out of George Carlin, the comedian, when he goes, "Dude, when I hate it when people say save the planet or Earth Day. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Earth is gonna be fine. Earth is gonna be fine. The people are fucked." Is it the Earth is gonna shake us off like a fucking bag of like ticks and fleas on its back,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna reform and fucking do its thing. The only thing that's gonna be the only new thing that's gonna happen is gonna be rubber tires and plastic. That is what's gonna be
I
left behind.
yeah. I used to remember old man I used to talk to
Yeah,
at the gym would tell me the same shit. We're just like a speck in the universe. We're
yeah,
just like a
bro.
fly. We're just like a really
Yeah,
annoying fly. If we're gonna get
yeah.
taken out, we can get taken out,
Well,
you know?
now you sound like fucking Agent Smith and shit.
Oh yeah.
I had a revelation. I figured and realized that human beings behave like a virus. You populate one area, then you decimate the resources, and you spread and go to another area like a virus. And
As much as
we
we joke
are the
about it,
cure. Yeah.
and we laugh about it,
Uh,
I 100% believe that those type of people that believe in eugenics, they exist and they're in power. And the reason they got in power in the first place, and the reason that they got into that place in the first place, and
uh,
were able to, is because of that motivation and drive to just wipe us out. That's like their
cycle.
motivation. Yeah,
I
because
mean,
they
I
believe
mean,
that only a certain group of people are basically going to be allowed to like reproduce and rule over others. I truly do
I
believe
think.
that. I mean,
I think
yeah.
I think the video game Assassin's Creed was trying to tell us something, and then the fucking plot went fucking weird. Do you remember? I don't know if you played Assassin's Creed, but it was telling us
Oh
a
yeah,
fucked up
yeah. I
story.
love that. I love
What
Assassin's
the?
Creed.
I
I
was like,
played.
oh, what's the conclusion when it was Desmond? You know what I'm saying? From part one all the way from Brotherhood to part three. Once it was Black Flag, the storyline went weird. Like, what happened? It was getting very good. The whole concept of Eden coming back, it was like an alien. I don't know, I forgot the whole exact story.
Oh,
But it was kind
Ancient
of like the
Alien shit
world.
in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, wow, that was so sick. And I think that we're trying to tell us something here. Like like the chosen people, right? You're the chosen one, or the
Oh,
chosen
the
people.
Jews.
We're gonna come. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, look at that. Oh my god, bro. This is like some
Yeah.
fucking Mason. This is some Mason shit. And oh god, okay. I now see what now the whole Illuminati. I'm not an Illuminati. I'm not into Illuminati. I'm not gonna go there. But
Oh
I see
yeah,
where
where's
these
Yusuf? Where's Yusuf?
oh, he's that. Oh no, he talks about that too. Fuck, dude. What the fuck?
Freemason cosmology. Yeah, they've created this world, this idea
Oh
of
god.
round Earth.
So apparently he doesn't like the Magellan story or Christopher Columbus at all. Okay.
No.
He doesn't believe
There
Magellan.
was land. He
Okay.
believed that the CIA had documents that was like disclosed and it was like leaked or released or whatever. And they've basically were just like,
Fuck.
had
All right,
proof
Ben.
that the
All
Earth
right. I
is
hope.
is
Okay. You know
flat.
what's okay. I hope he survived long enough for fucking Elon Musk to perfect the Starship so people could actually start buying tickets and going to fucking trips to the moon or doing an orbit ride around the Earth. That's the only way you can fucking prove to people, hey man, the Earth is actually round. All right, that's
We can
so I
prove
hope
it. It's not hard. You just need a
and it's
giant ship that's unsinkable.
you could do that too. I mean, the time, yeah. But my point is, the epitome would be when the Starship is created. It's going to happen within their lifetimes. With the trajectory is going, it might happen within our lifetimes, where people could actually buy tickets and just take an orbital flight around the Earth. It might happen.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll be like
yeah.
90 years old.
That could be an
I mean,
indicator.
because
But
bro, I mean, he's planning for a Mars, like a remote trip in like by 2030. So yeah, I could definitely see that. Like if they can land on Mars, bro, we could definitely use starships to just orbit around the Earth. No problem.
well, I don't
I
even
mean,
know
look
what the
at.
future
I
is
mean,
going
look
to
at.
hold.
I mean, look at go to NASA TV. People say NASA TV is fake. I don't know how you could fake that. I really don't know how. If you
Well,
go on NASA TV,
fuck flat
the
Earth. Fuck flat
the
Earth because it's like,
International
you
Space
know,
Station. I mean, International Space Station. There's people constantly recording the Earth. Apparently, that's fake,
I mean, that
according to
doesn't
what he's
change
saying.
my life, right? That doesn't change my life if the Earth is flat. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It really doesn't. I
I mean,
mean,
it'd
I
be
don't
cool. It'd
know.
be cool if it's really flat. Whatever.
I mean, it'd be
But
funny, right? If anything,
yeah,
it's like
it
shit. I
would
was
be.
wrong, I guess.
Yeah, I
Look
guess
at
I
me.
was
I'm a
wrong.
dumbass. I guess
Apparently,
I'm wrong. Yeah.
apparently that fucking there's Antarctica is around the entire Earth. There's ice around the rim.
Oh no, it gets crazy if we talk about hollow Earth theory, because then we're talking about there's underground
Oh
civilization
my
in the
god!
Earth's core. Oh yeah, Admiral Byrd, his expedition to Antarctica.
Wait a
Yep,
minute. Is
CIA.
that Jules?
CIA.
Is that Jules Verne or what the fuck are you talking
I don't
about?
know, but it was like there's a whole story of Admiral Byrd, and he was a real person. He went, brought a journal with him over in Antarctica. I don't know where the story came from, but the idea is that he ended up in Antarctica and found like there was like a portal or something that led to like this the center of the Earth, and there was like an underground civilization, and the
Oh
CIA was
shit!
part of like this whole deception of like they're hiding like secrets about what's underground. You know,
Hey,
Shit,
that
man.
sounds cool. That sounds interesting.
Motherfucker, maybe. Motherfucker, that makes a little bit. I believe that more than freaking flat Earth. Okay? Motherfucker, I believe that more than flat Earth.
You know,
Because,
what's
I mean,
that? What's the
oh,
what's
dude,
the book? What's
you ever heard
yeah?
of, what is it, Phil Schneider? You ever heard that story? I told you about that
Bill
fucker a long
Schneider
time
rings a
ago.
bell. Rings a bell. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, he was like in what was it called? It was a military base that was underground over in Dulce, New Mexico. Fucking crazy ass story. That guy got killed. Did you know? A couple years after he went to that
Oh,
UFO conference, he got killed. Yeah, he got
yeah.
choked to death inside his bathtub, and
What the fuck?
family kept it a
Wait a
secret when
minute.
he got.
Wait.
Yeah,
I don't think I remember this. I don't
hmm
remember this, man. So there is a
this happened back in the '90s.
secret underground base in New Mexico.
Dulce, New Mexico. Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of shit that we don't know what they're doing, bro. All those like
And what he
Taos,
said was
yeah.
that there is like some type of like underground, like civilization underneath. He does talk about like conflict between like special force personnel and reptilian aliens, and shit like that.
Oh my
But it was like,
god.
I was like, if it's like some YouTuber dude who's just like a fucking 18-year-old saying this shit, obviously I wouldn't believe, but it was like
That's one
fucking
thing.
Phil Schneider, and he's like, I don't know, dude, but like, I'm still kind of skeptical, but I'm like, maybe, just maybe, what if, because he's talking about shit like Ebola, like the government's like working on experiments to like manipulate, viruses to make them more transmissible to human beings, and said that these were alien viruses previously that the government was experimenting on, and they successfully were like
Oh
using these
wow.
laboratories. Fucking
Okay.
crazy shit. Yeah, this was the
Interesting.
90s. This was the
That's interesting.
90s, dude.
Wait,
And he's
wait. So you're saying the origin of these viruses are alien, like the germs and fucking influenza, Spanish
Ebola,
flu,
for example, that happened
Ebola.
back in, was it
Weaponized, like what?
2014,
Like they weaponize
2015.
fucking shit. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And he was
It's
saying
like
this
it's more
back in the
weaponized.
90s. Yeah. And he was saying this back in the 90s, and then Ebola broke out back in 2015. So this like
Interesting.
sometime later.
That's the thing, though. I mean, biological weaponry is the real thing. That's
Oh
a fact.
yeah. And he said
Well,
that,
you're saying the origins of it's alien. Okay, that's
he did also say, Phil Schneider said that there was a project that the government was working on to decrease the population of planet Earth by 2/3 by the year of 2030.
God.
So that, what is that? Around 60% of the human population is supposed to be eliminated by 2030.
Oh God! Don't tell me that.
Motherfucker.
Bro,
So-
I think I mentioned you before, bro. But I remember when I was taking a math class in high school. I remember my dorky ass math teacher. He's funny. He was a funny. I actually enjoyed this class. He was actually like a funny dude. He actually made us laugh at least. But I remember he had a question. He goes, in the next 20, 30 years, because he thought because he was teaching us about asymptotes, asymptotes on the graph. He goes,
Mhm.
"Do you think our population is going to continue to increase or is going to reach a plateau? And what will cause a plateau?" Oh, I was like, "What? I don't know, man." And that was a great question. I was like, "Oh fuck, dude, that's fucking terrifying." I'm like, "It could be." He goes, "Could it be disease? Could it be war? Could it be like, dude, you're fucking scaring me, bro." And this is
He's
back
going
in high
somewhere.
school.
He's going somewhere.
Yeah.
He's going somewhere. He
Oh,
knows something.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's something to think about. I'm like, oh my God. Because, yeah, you made an example about plateaus and asymptotes, like how it just eventually reaches a certain point and it just goes at a straight line and goes back down. So, ooh, yeah. Because, I mean, think about it. I mean, we've been, population wise, we have been multiplying exponentially as it's not linear, right? So,
And
I
if
don't know,
you're a
man.
powerful if you're a person who's in power or you're an elitist, you probably feel as if you are superior to a lot of people in terms of
Okay,
intellect.
we're definitely playing devil's advocate, right? We're
Uh-huh.
definitely
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
We're doing it. Okay,
Uh-huh.
just making
So
sure on the same page.
mhm, mhm. So we're thinking so if you're an elite person, you're gonna definitely think that you're
Oh
better than
shit!
other people. You're
So are you trying to say?
superior.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to
Mhm.
tell me that fucking George Soros has a point,
Well, no, well, here's the thing. But
or
if
Bill
you have their
Gates?
mindset, I mean, they
Yeah,
kind of have some points. Are a lot of people
yeah,
impressionable and stupid? Well, that's definitely true. They're not wrong about that if that's what they're thinking.
sure. The sheeple,
So,
sure.
yeah.
All right.
In retrospect, they're easy to manipulate, but if you have a situation where you don't want to take risks, you would just rather just like eliminate the majority of people. You would just rather have that than play, gamble and like, I think that's why like there's all these social movements happening. It's like an experimentation to see if whether or not people are just gonna fall through with the popular narrative. And obviously there is a lot of people that are,
Yeah,
but there's a lot of people that aren't at the same time. So how do you
sure.
get rid of those people?
No,
Well, just
I think we gave.
get rid of
I
most of
think we.
them. Fuck it, just get rid
Well,
of most of them. So it's like regardless of whether or not there's people that go
yeah.
against them, at least you eliminate most of the problem by just, taking them out. Whether it's through war, whether it's through vaccines, whether it's through disease or mass pandemic, or,
Mhm.
reducing overall population,
Ideologies
fuck
like
those
that.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I go back to the whole point. That's where feminism and woke culture and all these ideologies, communism, like Marxist, it reduces populations. Maybe maybe we're giving Bill Gates and George Soros too much credit. Maybe they're just advantageous and they're just letting it happen. Just let it. Just let it happen. Fuck it. Just let it ride.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm saying? We could change it, but nah, just let it happen. Fuck it. And
I definitely believe that there's
we'll exploit it. We'll exploit it and make money out of it because it is making money, bro. It is.
Well, I definitely
Because
believe that there's
double, yeah.
eugenists that are psychopaths that don't really give a shit about
Oh
people
yeah, of
just in general.
course.
So I definitely
Most
believe,
definitely,
yeah. No, there
most
has to
definitely.
be people that definitely believe that it's
Yes,
better off to just have less people because that's what
my
we've been
friend,
taught for so long.
it's not a fucking mystery that a lot of successful people are kind of psychopathic.
Hmm.
I mean, there's sociopaths and psychopaths, and not okay. And people think that they're murderers. No, that's a really small percentage.
Oh,
Like the
sometimes you'll never know
sociopathic
based off
serial
how they
killers,
look.
small percentage, but there's a bigger percentage of just not like regular sociopaths. I
You'll
mean,
never know based off
they're
how they
not
look.
violent.
You'll never know. Yeah.
Yeah. They could really they can't tell that they're fucking actually feel remorse. You can't tell that. Well, some women think they can.
If you feel like you're a god, you're gonna treat
Yeah.
if you feel like
The
you're a
God.
god amongst
Yeah.
people, you're gonna feel as if you get to call the shots in terms of how things are meant to be in the world. because
Well,
you
I
run
mean, that
everything,
yeah,
right? And if
yeah,
everything's
yeah.
given to you and then everybody tells you so many amazing things about you, you probably are going to believe it.
The God
And
complex.
and
I
there's
mean, yeah,
yeah,
that's a
God
thing.
complex. Exactly. The God complex. Exactly.
I mean, that's an actual thing, dude. That's an actual thing.
Fuck it, take everybody out. So there's no opposition. And then you
God
just leave
damn it,
behind like
bro.
and then you just leave
Ah,
behind a select few people that are slaves to you because they have no choice whether or not, they have the power to. It doesn't
oh, dude,
matter.
that
They're
God.
powerless.
Oh, bro, you're gonna like what I want to say, because you're a big fan of it. That's why Star Wars makes sense now. Fuck it. Anakin Skywalker
Yeah.
just popped in my head all of a sudden.
And
God.
he was a simp too. Don't forget, he was a simp.
Oh God.
All
Oh
of
my
the
God.
reason why yeah,
Ah,
yeah, dude, yeah. It's starting to make sense, huh? That
fucking
fucking
George
simp.
Lucas, you fucking George Lucas, you motherfucker. Fucking George Lucas. Man, bravo, man. Fucking hand. I gotta give it to you, man.
If
I'm
it
telling
really
dude,
puts in
I'm telling you, these authors are fucking brilliant, dude. Now I really respect Robert Jordan and George Lucas even more now,
well,
just having this
is
conversation.
George Lucas brilliant, or maybe he knew something before and just wants to translate into a film? I don't
I
know.
mean, that's what I mean. He had a fucking realization. He made it into the story. That's where the art is from, bro. That's why I respect these guys. They put these ideas in art form. That's why it's so dope.
If we
I'm
want to
seriously, bro.
simplify Star Wars, we could
Yeah,
simplify the problems in Star Wars very simply. It's not just the politics. Of course, that plays a big part in
yeah,
the Star Wars universe is the politics. But the
right,
reason why things happen the way they do in Star Wars is
right.
because of a fucking simp named Anakin Skywalker. It's because of that fucking simp. That fucking simp is the reason why the universe was so fucked. He was the
It's always
chosen one
over.
from
It's always over a woman, right? Always
yeah, he
over
was.
a
Yeah, oh my God, he was a fucking simp since he was a kid.
woman.
Even from episode one, he was a simp.
Where's his father? And just the mother, right?
It was just the
Oh
mother
man.
because the Force created him. Because of his
Yeah.
just like a super high midichlorian count. I feel like a geek now. Anyways, he
What?
has a really
What?
high midichlorian
Nah,
count. He
man.
was the chosen
It's
one.
art.
He's supposed to bring balance to the Force, and so this motherfucker, went after this chick, even though he was a Jedi and was forbidden to have love because the whole Jedi philosophy is that you want to be a Stoic. You want to remove. You're a Buddhist. You're kind of like a Buddhist Stoic. You're like a
You're
guy
a monk.
who's like,
Monk mode.
you're a
Yeah.
monk. You're a Jedi. You're a freaking monk. You're supposed to avoid this worldly pleasure. What they view it as, because a Jedi suffers when he has a relationship because then he's a liability. He's gonna get drawn into the dark side because then if you have a relationship and you're a Jedi, there's always that fear that you could lose someone who's close to you, and that will drive you towards the dark side. And that's what happened to Anakin. He became a fucking simp. He couldn't let go of Padme, the fucking Jew actress. What's her name? Natalie Portman, the fucking Jew. He couldn't help it. He couldn't help it. Yeah, he
You're
couldn't help
fucking
it.
funny, bro. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he couldn't fucking help it, dude.
Hey, you ever
All
heard of
because
TV tropes? You ever
all
heard of
because of
TV
Jewish
tropes?
pussy, Jewish space pussy.
You're fucking
God
stupid,
damn
bro.
it.
Hey,
God damn it.
you ever heard of the website TV tropes?
Nah, nah.
Oh, you will. Oh my God, you never heard of this? I don't. Maybe I shouldn't tell you this.
What the hell?
No, it's like I'm like maybe because you're gonna go into a fucking rabbit hole, my friend, if you don't know what this is.
Oh
Are you
man,
familiar,
maybe.
bro? It's like TV tropes is like the Wikipedia of fucking like any artistic contact movie.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. It's like
Like there's like
Wikipedia or some shit.
it break it down, bro, to it's like, dude, it's amazing. The analysis is incredible. Any TV show, any movie, maybe games, but maybe it's mainly movies and TV shows. They analyze the fuck out of everything, bro. It's like an endless rabbit hole. Maybe yeah, that's why I feel guilty telling you this. Because now you're gonna fucking
Mm.
get hooked. Yeah, it's called TV tropes.
No,
And there's
nah,
a lot, dude.
okay.
Like there's a lot of analytical like literature, like how they connect it and shit. They have archetypes. They break everything down. Every character is a certain archetype. The theme is a certain archetype. It's incredible. It's like it's like a website for like creatives. Like maybe
Mm.
this is where authors and creative people fucking go to. I haven't really read them because I know myself. I will never fucking fall asleep if I open this fucking website.
You'll be reading
It's like
nonstop.
it's endless, bro. It's like I don't want to get into this rabbit hole. It's like a fucking dude. It's crazy. But yeah, like literally, bro, having this conversation with you, it really added more appreciation to some authors in the fantasy or the fiction world, like the theme. You know, the Bible is look. I don't know about you. I'm Catholic, yeah, but I view the Bible like a beautifully written allegory. It's a beautiful work of art, bro. That's to me that's what the Bible is. I don't take it literally, bro. I really don't. I follow its teachings and its wisdom. You can do that, but I don't take it literally. So when we have all these like discussions, like the fundamentalists, like literally, like when it comes to like, okay, who created Earth, you're taking a little too literally. I don't know if it's really like that. It's very
Hmm.
allegorical. A lot of these stories, bro. There's Jediism. They taking that story too fucking literally, bro. You know, there's Jediism. Yeah, in Australia, there's an actual temple called
I
Jedi. It's a fucking
I
church.
didn't know. I did not
Oh,
know.
what? What? You Star Wars fans didn't know there's the actual religion called Judaism?
I
Wow.
think
Yeah,
many years ago I heard of it. I thought it was just
there's a
some crazy
temple in
fan
like,
club.
Australia. Yeah, I don't know if it's still running and shit, but I remember, dude.
God
And
damn.
I first heard about this when I was in the military. And check this out. In the military, when you're in basic training, you're because you know we're Americans. The beautiful thing about America is you could believe in any religion you want, right? So they had a list of all these religions, right? And it had Christian, Catholic, Buddhist, Muslim, and I thought I said Judaism, but I'm like, no, it says Jediism. I'm like, what the fuck is Jediism?
Yeah.
And they had it on there, and I had to look it up online. And I'm like, what? This is an act. They really believe in the Force and the actual. I forget where exactly in Australia. I think that's where they started it. Anyways, my whole point is I don't take these things too literally. It's just allegorical wisdom in different forms through story, through fables, whatever, what have you. That's why these like Star Wars, like Wheel of Time, Lord of the Rings, you know, that's why I love. That's why I love fiction. By the way, science fiction, it's great freaking stories, man. Great pieces of like literature where it really makes you think about how humanity is, what is life, what is the purpose, all that shit. It's really cool. That's why I like this genre. But people don't understand that. Like, what's the point of like, you know, some people go, what's the point of history? What's the point of science fiction? What's the point of fiction? I'm like, dude, are you that dense? Are you freaking dense, bro? Like you suck, dog. How about you just
Yeah.
now I get where there's some people. I don't want to sound like a fucking pretentious prick, but you know what I'm saying? Like you suck, bro. You're fucking whack. You're not into like you're not using your brain. You know what I'm saying? You don't
Well,
think.
that's because that's the reason why we're in this stupid situation in the world. It's because of people like that.
Well, now I understand what Plato and Socrates. But who's the one Greek guy that fucking says democracy is bullshit?
As evil, Plato.
Yeah, he was saying like these people don't deserve democracy or some shit like that. Like these guys can't do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no,
I,
basically he was just like,
I,
yeah, it's
yeah.
evil. It's like it's evil because it basically it goes in like, cycles. Like democracy is like just part of like one large cycle and essentially you just
Dictatorships
have this
happen
situation.
afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. It's just like that, pretty much. It
It's
just
like a cycle.
swings. And
It swings
it
back and
doesn't really
forth. Oh
change.
God.
Systems
Oh
like I mean,
yeah.
he basically just tried premises that democracy is just the worst form of government. Just basically because the
Yeah.
fact that,
I mean, it really is unstable.
the
It really is
alternatives,
unstable. Yeah. Well, the
yeah, it's
trade-off is here's yeah.
unstable.
No, no. I think I told you about this before, and it makes sense. Democracy does create freedom, but it's very unstable. Dictatorships is way more stable, but you have freedom. So yeah, that's the trade-off. That's the trade-off. You have to give something up, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's what the
Yeah,
founding fathers said that they even knew that it was a weakness, but they still wanted to do it anyways, which is kind of cool. I give them that credit. That's why I like the founding fathers. They wanted to
it's
say, all right, let's see.
definitely
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's definitely more stable, but the stability is always going to be culture based. It's always going to be culture based no matter what.
Right, correct.
You
It
know,
has to
because
correct itself. Yes, yes.
the families are the strong point of like a nation. The country
Correct,
can only
correct.
do so much. You
Right,
know,
right.
I mean,
Yes,
because
yes,
like look at
yes.
freaking Saudi Arabia, dude. You know,
Mhm.
well, I don't know. Their situation's really weird because they started to become very lenient over time and westernized.
Yeah,
You know, like you
yeah,
see like
yeah.
girls in like bikini tops. You know, in Saudi and
I had no
shit like
idea.
that.
I don't know shit about Saudi Arabia, bro. That's like a blind spot. I don't know much about it.
Yeah, it's
But you're
becoming
saying they
more
were,
liberal.
yeah. Oh God. Well, yeah, it makes sense
Islam,
because
yeah.
it makes sense, brother. Because well, let's go back to geopolitics. Because guess why? Saudi Arabia cannot sustain itself. It needs partners. It needs allies, if you will. And which ally? Who's in cahoots or who's cool with each other? Israel. So who? Okay. So who? Okay. In the Middle East, let's break it down. Israel
Isn't it
is.
funny how Ishmael? Isn't it funny how Isaac
Yeah.
gets along with Ishmael? Hmm.
Ah, look at
Mhm.
that. You're gonna
Yeah.
go. You
Yeah.
going biblical on me now.
Mhm,
All
mhm,
right.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
no, but look, let's geopolitics right now. So it's like Israel is cool with Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Egypt. I think I'm missing one more. Those are like three major because they're bought out. It's all about money and shit. They understand that Saudi Arabia can't sustain itself. They have to, be allies with somebody else. So that makes sense why they're becoming more liberalized, which sucks because they're really their culture's changing, which is really sad. It makes sense. Like, people used to shit on I get Islam. I mean, Islam is not my cup of tea, but I see where they're coming from. They want that they do have some values that we could agree with. Family. Everybody has their roles. Shit like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because
I prefer
going back to yeah, go ahead.
well, yeah, I prefer that over, like, pure atheism and debauchery, in my point of view,
Yeah,
because then it's just like
secularism. Yeah.
yeah, because it's like,
Oh.
dude, like we're so bent out of shape now. It's like, like I meet so many feminist Iranian chicks on Hello Talk, for example, and it's like,
Well,
dude,
you said it earlier. You said it earlier. It's a cycle. Maybe this is a cycle to depopulate the area, so the secular ideals actually is in favor. They let it, as again, the people who were proving the movies and the shakers. You know what? Let's let it happen. Let's pull this lever. Let secularism take over. This helps exacerbate the reducing of population, and then once we get to a certain point, we'll bring back religion.
I guess so, dude.
Yeah, I was thinking about this a lot, actually, a lot.
I guess
You
so,
know?
dude.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe I'm giving too much credit to people, maybe I'm giving way too much credit, but if you look at it, I don't know, man. Because it's a cycle of shit. You're telling me it comes in cycles. Because again, when the United States was founded, the whole world was ruled by dictatorships and monarchies, right?
I think the intentions was good. I mean, it seemed like it was good. The
Right.
intentions of like,
Right, right, right,
you know what I mean?
right.
They knew what it
Have you
was
heard of
like to be
Thomas
under British imperial rule. Yeah.
well, you heard of Thomas Malthus? No, is it Thomas Malthus? I think the Malthusian trap. I think we talked about this before. Thomas Malthus was one of like the first economists back then he was part of the British Empire, I guess. And he did like a study throughout the whole world and he called it like the Malthusian trap. He's saying that if
Hmm.
you continue to the population will continue to expand, we're going to run out of resources.
Mm.
I forgot what year. I think his name is Thomas Malthus. Thomas
Yeah.
Malthus, and people say the Malthusian trap is just a farce because that's the belief that people say. Because Elon Musk mentioned, there's not a population problem. Like we're not going to run out of resources. I think there was like an interview when Elon Musk was talking to Bill Maher, another Jew. Uh,
Yeah.
no, but I don't know, bro. I don't want to go.
Another Jew.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go super Jew. I'm more about Zionist. I want to be clear because people might listen to this. I want to be very clear about this. I am not anti-Jew. I am anti-Zionist. I make a distinction. It's a big distinction. So,
Yeah.
anyways, so
I
Elon
I
Musk.
say I'm
Elon Musk.
anti-Jew because I like my dark humor. So
Oh, whatever. Fine. You could justify it. Yeah. So because we got to be careful, bro. Because if we keep like using it loosely, people, the sheep will take it literally. Go, yeah, fuck the Jews, and it'll create another stupid group thing. So we got to be careful
yeah.
with this shit because it's not going to bring credibility to what we're talking about. So
No, of
yeah, we got to
course.
be
Yeah.
more. We got to be analytical and say no, it's Zionism. It's like something like this belief because it is a kind of like a cult Zionist. It is another religion. And honestly, think about this too. Like the whole reason why people can easily get swindled and influence another group think or crowd mentality. Unfortunately, it is religion. Muslim, whatever fundamental or dogmatic type of belief. It's bad. I think we could all agree dogmatism is bad, whatever religion we're talking about. So Zionist is kind of like that. So and unfortunately, they have a
Absolutely.
lot of
Yeah.
influence right now. Yeah. So it's like a clash. Now I understand why Hitler, the H man, whatever they called him. I get it now. I really do. I really do what he was coming from. Yeah, because I think we mentioned earlier, like him and now we're like considering fucking fat ass Churchill was like the hero in this. No, man, all of them did horrible shit.
Oh, he was the
Nobody
worst. He was the worst out of
Nobody
all of
talks
them.
about the horrible shit he did. Nobody mentions it. You have to
He was
dig.
an animal.
We have to personally dig into history to find out his the skeletons. I think Nick Fuentes did a great. I forgot. He did an interview with I think it was called Digital. It's like a podcast. This is another young dude, and I really appreciate this other dude. It's like a fucking dude with a Jew fro with glasses. It's called Digital something. Digital. I forgot the podcast he does. I'm glad he had because he has Nick Fuentes on there. He had Myron Gaines on there. He had all the controversial figures, Sneeko, Jake Shields, all the controversial figures. He had up on that podcast because that channel on YouTube has a shit ton of followers, and it's great for him because this is a lot of young people listen to him, so that's really good. Again, these guys, what they're doing, they're giving us hope, man. And influencers, honestly, bro, influencers, the fact that we're in a interconnected situation, at least influencers have major impact. You know what's funny too? I don't know if maybe you know this already. I guess millennials and baby boomers don't know this, but I know for sure your generation and younger definitely knows this. You know how people still follow like fucking celebrities and shit,
Oh,
way
hell
too
yeah.
much.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Now
Gen
it's
Z is so
now
heavy on that.
Oh, is it okay? I think a certain percentage shifted to influencers now. They follow more like the
Yeah, that's true.
YouTubers or Kick. That's the new shift, when it comes to like entertainment.
Well, I think it's
Like
more
the Jet.
enticing because influencers are a
Yeah,
little bit more relatable than like your average celebrity, but simultaneously, it's much more accessible to the general population to be just like an influencer, if that
and
makes sense.
the recent oh, definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
The recent American election proved it. Did you see how the Democrats fucking try to use the old tactic? Oh, let's have Eminem, let's have Beyonce, let's have these fucking artists to like vote for Kamala Harris. Didn't work. What did Trump do? What did Barron Trump tell Trump? Barron Trump, the son of Donald Trump. Hey, Dad, you should start going with podcasts. And that's honestly that move fucking saved that
Oh
campaign.
yeah. Joe
Yeah,
Rogan
dude.
with Trump.
Joe
Oh
Rogan,
yeah.
dude, he went everywhere. He went on Joe
Oh
Rogan. He
yeah.
went on I forgot the other places, but Joe Rogan was a big factor, dude. Straight up. And then Elon Musk, of course, fucking that's when right after
Backing
that
him up too.
assassination
Oh, that was a
attempt.
big
Yeah.
push. The
Yeah, after the
assassination
assassin
attempt, I think that
yeah.
was the one that was the big push. That was like, dude, after that, dude, I
And
think it
now
was pretty much over.
and now the tinfoil lefty said, "Oh no, that was staged. The fucking assassination that was staged. Really?"
Oh, did you see those reactions of like people being interviewed about their reaction to the Trump assassination attempt? And then some of them were like, even the hard dude,
Crying.
that's when like the first time I
Uh,
saw liberals become conspiracy
dude.
theorists. That was the first time I've seen like those liberals become
Bro,
conspiracy theorists.
dude, these guys are fucking crazy. Who the fuck wishes for somebody to die? You must be a cold-blooded motherfucker. I wish nobody to die, bro. That's a little too far. And I remember,
Oh
yeah, I
yeah.
know exactly what you're talking about. I remember there's like a guy and girls just on the car driving, just crying. Oh my god, it was so close. He could have died. He could have fucking died. See, this is groupthink. This is mob mentality right here. 101. Fucking 4K clear mob mentality type of shit. How bad, how freaking low can you get where you wish somebody's death? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I would never like we could disagree and shit, but I'm not gonna kill you for it. And again, maybe the resolve is way deeper than mine. Maybe the resolve is so
The
much like
resolve. My
well,
resolve
yeah,
has
because
never
there's
been so strong.
yeah,
Star
absolutely.
Wars,
I mean,
sorry.
oh yeah, well there you go.
I
Yeah.
can't. Palpatine when he came to
But
power.
bro, do you understand? This is mob mentality. This is straight up. They wish for the death of a certain leader. Look what happened to Marie Antoinette. You know, the mob said, "Fuck this bitch." She could have fucking not died. The whole story, the reason why Marie Antoinette was fucking guillotined. She could have lost, but the mob was still strong. Look at rebellion, and that's how rebellions happen, for good or worse. Look at the Russia's
Look what happened
rebellion.
to Socrates. Socrates, he there was the,
Oh yeah,
you
that was
know,
horrible.
yeah,
Yeah, that's another mob. Yeah,
Socrates
exactly.
being executed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Gaddafi. Oh, Gaddafi
Oh
was
shit. Now we're hitting
probably
something.
one
Oh
of the
man.
best examples of mob
Now we're
rule
hitting a fucking nerve now,
when
sir. Oh my
his
god,
own
yes.
people,
Oh my
turn
god.
their back on him.
That shit's
His own
crazy.
people.
Nobody talks about
This
that, dog.
this guy gave everything. This
Ooh.
guy gave everything to his country. Literally everything.
He
He
should be
gave
fucking revered, but now he's viewed as an enemy or a fucking evil dude. How
because the
crazy
the
is
the, the
that?
presence, dude, that's how
Fuck.
powerful the presence of Western media is that you can literally, dude, isn't it nuts that like people, in their own country of
Yeah.
Libya would listen to Western news, like they had the access to listen to Western news and believed everything what the BBC said about Gaddafi and decided that they were going to turn their back on him and go with the rest of the mob and destroy and like slaughter his family, right? And essentially just destroy Libya as a whole, right? Its leadership, what made it strong before. And
I don't
sent
think,
it
hey,
to
man,
the sent it to the shadow realm. They basically sent the country into the shadow realm, and now you have like,
Yeah.
you know, teenage girls
Yeah.
being auctioned off to middle-aged
all
men.
right, all right. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
oh,
that's Libya. That's Libya, dude. And that
Oh, yeah,
giant
dude.
flood situation where hundreds of
Uh-huh.
people got killed because lack of infrastructure that they couldn't keep up because of the war in Libya in 2010 that happened when they got, you know, when Gaddafi was assassinated by the Obama administration, the same time that Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh yeah, that was some
Oh
complete, dude.
gosh.
Right, bro. When as soon as I heard Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize, you know what I did? I started investigating who the fuck won all the Nobel, like in the past. Who were the past winners? Then I realized this is full of shit. It's like the Oscars of
Oh
politics.
fuck that. Fuck all of that.
Yes,
Grammy
pointless,
Awards.
pointless,
Fucking
pointless,
bread and circus shit. It's all bread and circus
pointless,
shit.
pointless
Fucking
bullshit. Pointless bullshit.
fucking Roman Coliseum shit. It's all fucking
Bro,
Roman
fucking Henry
Coliseum
Kissinger.
shit.
Fucking Henry Kissinger won it. Come
Oh,
on, man.
motherfucker,
Can you
motherfucker.
take it seriously? Yeah, I mean, come on. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, so
The guy
whatever.
who's responsible
Trump
for
and
like his
apparently
whole
Trump
yeah.
apparently Trump is trying to get it too. Who gives a fuck? He's a whatever, man. I don't. Yeah, it's so stupid. It's retarded.
All right, man.
Anyways, bro, you. Huh?
Yeah, I gotta take off for now because
All
somebody's waiting
good.
outside. I gotta go.
All good,
Uh,
brother, because we got good shit right here. We got like over 2 hours of shit.
Oh
Good
yeah,
shit,
yeah,
brother.
yeah. We
we
should
talk at
definitely
length.
give another call sometime, man. But yeah, I gotta take off for
Yeah.
now. But
All right,
yeah,
brother.
I'll see you later.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.